Hello. Sorry I'm late. I guess, you know what? I'm not gonna. Ah, sorry I'm late. I was just about to ask if YouTube could hear me, and you guys can. I'm sorry, that was really loud. If you weren't prepared for me, I gotta turn the music down. Hello. So if you're on YouTube, you're not hearing the music, right? I learned. I learned how to make it so that Twitch hears music and YouTube does not. Yeah. Then I don't have to worry about copyright anymore. Until Twitch wisens up, you know? Okay, now I need to remember the rest of this. Okay, for one, I am not on screen. Where is... Oh, there I am. Hello. I am inconsistent. Okay, one sec. Okay, now I need to open my iPad. I did not connect my iPad. Yeah. I'm not supposed to stream today, but I was so hype about streaming that I went ahead and did it anyways. I'm gonna set my iPad to do not disturb. And we're gonna put it on. What art are we doing today? I'm not sure yet. I mostly just got excited because I figured out how to split the audio so that my Twitch VOD doesn't have music in it and my YouTube VOD doesn't have music in it, but I can still listen to music with y'all on Twitch, which I think is pretty cool. I don't have Twitch chat open, I just realized. Oopsies. If anyone's on Twitch, like I've not noticed you because I forgot to do that. Oh, hi Pax. Hey ants. Sorry about that. Okay. There. Now I got both of you. I got both of you going now. No chat's more important than the other. Except sometimes. Hee hee. Okay, I need to get my iPad on screen. Oh, that's why it's set to Ursula's iPad. There we go. It's me! Hello! We got musics. We can listen to whatever music we want. We're so freed. We're so free. Isn't that crazy? I also gotta set up my Ushi bot because I now have Ushi audiobook because we have this Ushi, but we're gonna get rid of her. We're removing her. Get rid of her. We don't need her no more. We don't need her book. Country music. The country music time. One sec. What do we do? What are we doing? Oh, I didn't download the new Ushi. We gotta download the new Ushi. Ushi update. Let's go. This will be over on the Discord. Okay. Discord doesn't work on that monitor. I don't know why. She probably sent it to me in our personal chat. There it is. That's one Ushi. Save. I'll save her in downloads, I guess. And then we have the other Ushi. There we go. We got two Ushis. So what we do is we open up our spoilers. Yeah, we don't want to click that. That's genuinely huge spoilers. That's why I keep it with that in front of it so that I don't accidentally click it. It's more a warning for myself than for you guys. Okay, so what are we doing? We're going to get a reactive image source. We're going to add a new image reaction source. Where is that reactive image source? We're going to call it
Spoiler
Ushi.
alert. Bones dies in in-game.
No! We got story Ushi. And then we add reaction 1 should be her main state, right? I think. So we want it to be mouth closed. Oh, an Ushi has appeared. And then mouth open. Then we want to attach her to the audiobook source. Gotta find that audiobook. Cool. That should work. Then we should have a little storytime Ushi to tell us stories later in stream. Hi, how is ya? How's Bond? Bond's good. Bond's good. I wasn't planning to stream. I was planning to stream, but I keep having this moment where it's like freaking the weekend when I'm not supposed to stream and I'm like I want to stream. I want to be here. Pokemon is live. What Pokemon is live? Ooh. What do you think about the new Stardew Valley romance candidate announcement? It's crazy. Clint? What the hell? What the hell is that? That's I don't know how to feel about that. A Sandy I predicted. Clint I did not. I assumed it would be Sandy and the Wizard. Just because everyone is thirsting for the Wizard. There's so many mods that exist to kiss the Wizard already, so I kind of assumed that was a thing, but yeah. The next thing I need for my stream is like a good background image, because I just kind of have a generic one from like a website that gives free images. This thing is always looks bad. It's always it looks weird. You know what I mean? I don't like it. Okay, that's good. That's good. The official Pokemon channel is live for nationals. Oh. Whoa, Bone stream? Yeah. I forgot that I'm not supposed to stream today, but here we are. I finished the audiobook I was editing and I got paid, so that was pretty awesome. And it looks like I'll probably be doing a bunch of their other books. So that's awesome. I love that. I love that for me. I was hoping it would be Clint because his story needs an overhaul and his best shot was becoming a romance candidate. That's true. He looks optimal for cuts. Okay, controversial in my house. I won't say this while Ushi and Charlie are awake, but I think Clint is cute and I would date him. Hi, Dory. Welcome to the stream. Now we have it that YouTube is going to be a completely different vibe because YouTube won't have music. But I kind of like that because a lot of times I want to hang out on people's streams, but I get overwhelmed by their music and I just want to listen to my own music. So I think it's fair, you know? There's a portrait mod that gives Clint a crazy scar and I understand it. That's amazing. I was looking for like all the musics that I like and I don't know. I don't know how people are brave enough to actually play the music that they like. I also need to find you guys were saying that I can get a thing that will tell you what the music title is. Like I see Charlie has one of those, so I could probably just ask him. Though he doesn't use OBS, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, the Abyss calls for me. No problem. What? You're the one who's always telling me to do that. Ooh wah, ooh wah, ooh wah, ooh wah. I feel like you already got a vibe from my music tastes. Then what does he do? Use he's a Streamlabs. The other one. He's not an OBSer. I'm unk, but I figured it out today, you know? Like, I think that's impressive for me. I'm an OBS enjoyer. Me too. I just want the potential to make my stream really big. And I can't live that potential with oh, what's it, you know? Yay, I caught a stream. Hello, Chrono Rust. That's an awesome name, actually. All right. Should I make a redeem for music suggestions? I don't know. You can't make the stream big in the Streamlabs. Yeah, you're kind of gated to a smaller quality. It doesn't get as big as OBS can. I would stream higher quality, but multi-streaming kind of just splits the amount of stream energy. You know, like it's an anime magical beam, and if I split it between two sources, it's not as strong. You can use the music share channel on Discord. I could. I thought it meant viewer cap or something. No, just quality cap. At same potential for viewers. Meow. I don't even know what I'm going to work on. I probably will continue working on 9 point today. I don't know. When I have to do some like lock-in work, I feel like I'll do the other one. What's the other one called? Frick. I might listen. We might listen to some more audiobook. Streamlabs doesn't support 1440p. I don't know what it supports. I just know when I import all my stuff into OBS, I have to shrink everything down. Like it gives you a smaller pixel canvas. You have less pixels to work with. 10 slimes. Okay, let's go for the 10 slime pull. Let's do that. I'm kind of just yapping. I'm in yap mode right now. Okay, 10 slimes. By multiple times. Let's buy 10. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 2 star, and 3 star was your best pull. I feel like I should give you guys like a secondary pull when you do the 10. I think you should get like one extra. Okay, that's 1 star still. Because it always will the final pull and a pull of 10 will always default to your highest pull. I don't know if it allows you to go higher with that pull. So I think it might. Terrible slimes. Asked to leave the stream. Yeah, I'm going to have to ask you to move. Well, you got a 3 star, so I think you can stay for now. Charlie was saying I should do music suggestions as a redeem, and if I don't like the music, you get a timeout. Only bangers, or I throw you out. Permabanned. Permabanned for bad music taste. It's not even bad music taste, just music that I wouldn't like, you know? It should be music that I'll enjoy. And I think you should be able to figure out my vibe eventually. Okay. Well, I need to hide Ushi. We need to hide Story Ushi. We're not using her right now. Wait, when I'm doing Story Ushi, should we actually move Skug closer to her? Do you guys want to be... Do we want to move Skug to sit and listen to the story? We can make Skug smaller. More like its canonical size. And it can like sit and listen. Like that. I think that'd be cute. Also, okay, I know it's funny to have you in the background, Skug, but I'm gonna pull you up beside Story Ushi. PNG2... I should be in the front of all things. Yeah, you should be like third. It's funny when they poop on you, but like, you know... I'm about to run out of music. I accidentally put on my my hype mix, like my pre-stream hype mix. So we're about to get 2 hours of Loco Roco if I don't change to different music. Where's my usual stream songs? Oh, they're elsewhere. Is this Stream Bops? Okay, nice Stream Bops. Okay. Oh. That said, the YouTube viewers are just gonna hear me like singing to myself, and I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. I probably shouldn't have removed that, but I did. Fa? Fa! No! Heagle? I'm not a beagle. I am unrelated to Beagle. I have nothing to do with beagles. Beagle just living in my house. We gotta make sure that Beagle submits to extend his visitor stay. Heagle is the noise horn. Oh, Hagale! I thought you were calling me a beagle. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense, actually. We do be listening to Hornet music. Did we end up culling the farm? We did. Okay, it looks like Ushi culled the farm. Okay, that's good. We got some fun little baby slimes running around. Bum, bum, bum. PRB already? The farm? Yeah, the little animals running at the bottom of the screen. Twitch chat can buy little animals, but there is a cap, so we do have to cull. A fox and a panda. Okay. Speaking of Twitch chat buying things. Okay, let's get a panda, 1 star, and a fox. 1 star. Damn. I don't know how much I should make music Rex. I don't know how much other people charge to be recommended music with channel points. Okay, I didn't finish all of this. Okay. So there is stuff for me to do. Okay. I can focus. I'm still not used to the PNG tuber where I'm allowed to like look away from you guys. I just feel like I should be looking at you at all times. Personally recommend Patapon. Patapon's really good. It's good music. If we can slaps. Okay, so let's... Okay, we did green. Let's do this orange kitty. Is she the... I guess it doesn't actually matter. Okay. I don't know if I want to listen to Boo Boo Porche. Is this Boo Boo? No, this is just the bass song. Like, I did find a bunch of music that I could listen to on stream, but like now that I'm actually on stream, I'm like, oh god, I'm too embarrassed. I'm too embarrassed of my musical tastes. I don't want to share anymore. I've decided, I've changed my mind. I don't know. Now that I think about it, that's terrifying. The fact that I will judge your music tastes is one thing. That you'll judge mine? I don't like that. Is this 10 point? No, it's 9 point. I haven't gotten to 10 point yet. And in due time, I will reach 10 point, but not today. Yeah, I'm probably gonna read more Avo. I have decided. We're gonna listen to more audiobook in a hot minute. But let people know that I'm streaming first, you know? The 9 point implies the existence of other 8 points. Well, it does. There are in fact 9 points. If you read 9 point, you will have learned about the 9 points. It is the basis of the magic system. Yeah, like I genuinely thought it was like Monday. I don't know. I get it in my brain it's Monday and I just go into go mode. It's because I woke up at like, well, I went to bed at 7 a.m. when Ursula was waking up and she was heading out to work. And usually when I wake up and Ursula's going to work, well, it's usually I usually stay up late so that Ursula goes to school. It's Monday here. Is it Monday already? I guess it's Monday tomorrow for me. Yeah. In a few hours it will be Monday. But I thought it was like, you know what I mean? I know it's only Sunday because I tried to buy stickers, but the site is closed on Sundays. Ah, there you go. Some people are living the Monday life, some people aren't. Whoa. It was a fun stream yesterday. It was really at a weird time for us. It was so early for us. Oh, it's just cut off here. I see. I was not expecting a bones at that hour of my day. Yeah, I had just woken up. By the end of that stream, I was so cranky I had to leave. I would have stayed longer, but I hadn't eaten. That's why I wasn't there. Yeah. It's just because we missed the one stream. So we just extended the critique stream. I need to do a one-on-one critique with someone. They're currently at a convention, though, so. Whoa! The meowing. What kind of convention? They're at an anime convention. They're doing their first. They're selling at an anime convention for the first time. Looks like we didn't fully color this cat in. Such a failure. Failure as an artist. Yeah, I do like one-on-one critiques with people. I know people have been asking me to like update things because I keep getting asked to do like larger critiques, which would count as like editing, and I need to determine my rate. It's always hard to figure out your rates on that kind of thing. Hey. Well. I charge a flat rate of $0 an hour because nothing ever gets done if you ask me to do it. Hey, if money is on the line, I do things fast, okay? I'm good at following a deadline. Getting paid is so fun. I love that shit. You're horrible at deadlines? Yeah, a lot of people are. Why did I got too careful about that. Too precious. Discipline yourself with deadlines. It's hard when they're like it's easier to follow deadlines when you're going from like external deadlines. Internal deadlines that you set for yourself. Ooh, I do not follow those as well. It's when it's the pressure of disappointing other people. Also, I can't give myself money, you know? I'm working on a graphic novel pitch and it is going slow because I'm like, whatever. The fire under my ass, I cannot light it. I'll get it done eventually. God, I was doing so much audio editing. I just see waveform. I was seeing waveforms in my dreams. Like it was crazy. Even in my sleep, I was punching down plosives. Edited so many waveform. Bro edited so many waveforms. He started dreaming of them. Exactly. That's what I was explaining. Oops. I erased her goddamn head. One fell swoop. She was nothing. That's the power of being an artist. Already yawning. The hell? What the fucking hell? I really should set up two microphones. One should be like in a little cozy spot, and I can leave you guys and go into cozy mode with a cozy mic, and then I can have my work mic. What do you think? Be crazy. All my pets are sleeping on one couch. I really need to set up the pet cam again. Like, where is that? Do you guys want a kitty cam? You want to be able to see the kitties? Hi Bones and hi Ushi. There's no Ushi. I'm sorry. I should put her away. There you go. So as to not confuse you. Of course we need baby cam back. Okay, give me a sec. I'll set up baby cam. You
I
can
miss
see
her
the
already.
poor Miku in all her cone head glory. If I can find the camera, it should be here. I don't know what happened to it. Where did they put it? I'm gonna go sleep. Bye. Goodbye. I don't know where the extension cord is. I need to find my USB extension cord. There. Hope I'm not making things too loud for you guys. Where did it go? It's gotta be connected to something. The mic cables. That is an HDMI cable. Oh, where is my frickin' USB cable? Foo-foo. Where would it go? I can't find my USB cable. It's the power of AI. It's the power of AI? I'm looking for a giant cable and I can't find it. There we go. I have found it. Hype. 3 streams, damn. What an average. All right, so now we should be able to add a pet cam. You're insane. Charlie's not here. Oh. There we go, baby cam. My music stopped. Why did my music stop? Oh, it's just new song. All right, there we go, baby cam. There's music playing? No. You're right, that's crazy. Okay, so I want it behind Twitch chat, kind of, right? Head of iPad, but I can hear it. Well, yay. I need water, one sec. Now I can cover your baby. You can all pet the baby. If you reach out your hands, you can pet them. I don't love them being so giant, though, honestly. It's Miku's couch that she owns. That's true. That is her couch. What if I made you guys smaller, too? There you go. You have to really try to reach them now. We are not the baby. That's true. Oops, what did I do? Meow. There you go. That's better. There, now we got baby cam set up. Miku in her little cone in her sweater. Yeah, she's been not doing well. Like, we're finally going to be able to have the money to take her to the vet, which is awesome. So I hope she's able to recover from whatever this is. Because I really do think it's allergies. Like, I don't know what else it would be, honestly. Because she's the only cat who has it, so it's not contagious. And she keeps having flare-ups every month, so... Green can reach the baby. You gotta just stack up green blocks and then you can reach the babies. Yeah, that's Miku and that is Serena. Madoka is in her bed right now. She's upstairs with Ushi and Charlie. Yeah, poor baby. Agreed. She's a sad little baby. She deserves so much more. Bum, ba-da, bum, ba, ba-da-dum. I'm just living that impoverished life, you know? Once I'm out of that, it makes me feel like such a bad pet owner, but I just don't have the money and it's not so bad that it makes sense to surrender them cuz we'll be on better footing soon. Soon, not soon. Eventually. It just is a matter of Ushi finding a job. It's so hard to get a job out there in the industry right now. Hard to find stable work. Wishing for a great recovery? Yeah. Like, she at least goes through days where she's like not itchy, but she gets so itchy that she just scratches herself up. So she gotta wear a little sweater all the time and a little cone on her head. And it's just so sad. And I do my best to just keep everything clean. But this too shall pass, you know? Ushi Heart, yeah. Madoka. The beloved ones. Dun, 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 dun. One of my girlfriends had to leave her job and couldn't find work. It sucks so much. It's so hard. It's really so hard. Because Ushi's job before sucked. And that's why it all kind of fell apart, honestly. Like, eventually, she's gonna find something because she's so talented, that Ushi. Um, they told her they'd give her a pay raise to keep her around and then didn't give her the raise. Oh my god. Classic. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say what happened at Ushi's last work, but it was bullshit. It was real bullshit. It was some real heckin' bullshit. And she was so underpaid, too. Like, Ushi's at a career level where she should be making 90K, and she definitely was not making 90K. Which is why it's like, as soon as soon as she does find a job that's like in the proper pay range, like we're gonna be fucking awesome. But it's the it's the McDonald's salary right now, which is very different. It is very scrimpy. Because even if she gets crappy work in the industry, it'll still be better than McDonald's, you know? Life of the artist, yeah. I hate that we created a shitty smart supercomputer that can do some human tasks, and people decided, let's get it to try and do the creative work instead of the garbage. Nothing that people don't want to do. People not giving artists jobs because plagiarism is, yeah. That's not the reason why Ushi lost her job. I know a lot of people are suffering through it right now. And even those like shit jobs, a big problem is like that ruins entry level work a lot at the time. Yeah. But her teachers are always showing people, I guess, from previous classes that have gotten jobs. So hopefully that bodes well for Ushi. Hmm. It makes it such a pain to find work because cheap idiots would rather generate shit. Yeah, there's that, but then there's also the fact that like the whole job finding process has been like turned to AI, and people submit AI resumes. Obviously a sore subject. Yeah, no, that's fine. Artists typically do not like that shit. I got interviewed by an AI for a job. That it was a terrible experience. That's crazy. I've heard about that, like the AI job interviews. It's insane. I don't know who it's helping, honestly. Aside from AI companies, I guess. It's an AI bubble, yeah. His characters are so cute, right? They're all white kittens from the Temple of White. So they're in the spirit world. It's gonna be interesting to color. Like I'm blocking in like with clown flats right now, so I know where each character starts and each character begins. But they're all gonna be very similarly um shades of white. The machine lied to me after I asked it my qualifications were enough, and then I sat through the whole interview for it to tell me I didn't get the job because the qualifications weren't enough. Like at least Carol from HR would tell me to get hit by a truck right away instead of wasting my time. Wasting your Tim, sorry. God, that's crazy. That's like I cannot fathom the concept of the AI interview. Like it's bad enough they're going through the resumes. And I get the desire to do it from a company's perspective. Like it's not useful, but like I know Ursula's been applying at like small local places and they have thousands of job applications just because it's so easy to find jobs online now. I caught an AI ad in the stream now. I don't see a lot of ads, so I thankfully don't know what you guys are talking about when it comes to AI ads. I don't get a lot of that. I simply look away. If you guys have money, if you guys have money and support me, I appreciate that. But you should also support Comic Fury if you haven't already on Patreon. Because they're super anti AI. They're very community oriented. They're an amazing site to post all of your comics, and they're run by one guy. I did? That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. As soon as like I have money again, I will definitely be supporting. But in the meantime, I can tell y'all to make sure to send them a Ko-fi or even better, pledge on Patreon because they're so worth it. I host all of my comics on Comic Fury and it is amazing. And I'm always wishing them the very best. I love Comic Fury, as you should. It is such an amazing comic place. Did I? It did. Okay. It was some weird prompt engineering nonsense. That shit's ridiculous. Hello, I'm a prompt engineer. Like, shut up. Shut your pie hole. My mom gets into the AI stuff because my brother's big into it. So he always is suggesting her to go. I feel so bad because I was like, you shouldn't talk to your AIs. But she was just saying that she's so lonely when she's at home and all she has to talk to is Alexa. I'm like, no, mom. Aw. Boomer marriage. My other girlfriend got an AI cat calendar from her mom for Hanukkah. Mom's and AI is like it's the worst, and you can't talk them out of it, and they often don't even see the AI. My stepdad is just very much a stepdad, and they have a roommate. And I guess, yeah, they're always watching their freaking cop shows, and my mom's not into that. I don't know. I see my mom once a week. She comes over and we watch Desperate Housewives, which is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying. We watch 2 episodes. They were roommates. No, they're just roommates. Um, but we watch 2 episodes a week, and it's so much fun watching a TV show like a small amount at a time. It's really cool to not binge watch something. I feel so much more invested in the show. My goal in life is to make stuff that's main monitor content, you know? Streaming is such second monitor content and I don't have plans to elevate myself to in terms of streams outside of the second monitor, but man, I want my writing and my YouTube videos to be main monitor content. I'm so mad that JoJo Part 7 is probably going to be going to batch release. You just got to find someone who will watch it with you one at a time. That's another part of it. It's like watching it one episode a week and then watching it with people. Though it does get difficult with social media spoiling things like that, so I get you. I think more about the product if I consume it one at a time rather than binging. I think it's better for your brain. I think it's genuinely better for your brain. It makes you think. Because I could have binge watched all of Desperate Housewives and probably liked it pretty well, but it's just a lot of fun. And it's also very social because we have Charlie here, so he watches it too. And he was saying that maybe once he's back to Sweden, he wants to keep watching once a week. We can all keep up together. JoJo Part 7, the manga, has been out for 15 years, so I'm not super worried about spoilers. You know what? I didn't even think about that. So I guess you're right. Sorry, I'm dumb. No brain, head empty. Stupid deer. I keep having the thought of like, oh right, YouTube doesn't hear the music anymore. They don't. They just hear me going beep boop boop. No thoughts, head bumping. Yeah, exactly. It's the Mario Kart soundtrack. It bops hard. And again, I know this sounds fake, but it's real. I swear I'm not lying this time. No recap, true honest. There's no music on Twitch either. Is there no music on Twitch? That's 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 not true. Ignore me. I have Twitch muted. Wait, I'm dumb. I'm still watching. You better be careful. Oh no. Okay, you because I tested this. Yeah, it's 100% is music on Twitch. I just blasted my ears with it. It's actually like pretty loud, isn't it? It's Twitch muted, yeah. Where'd Ushi go? Ushi's asleep. The Storytime Ushi is gone because I'm not listening to Ushi stories. I put her away. But we do have Serena and Miko. Give her back? No. I still want people to think that Ushi's here if she's not here, you know? Car cam? What? Blow everyone up. No. A deer? We can get a deer. Though a deer, a female deer. Okay. 2 stars. Oh, another one. I call cats cars. Oh, car cam. I see. Okay, what's the next tier? This better be a good one. 1 star. Kyle cam? No, it's Wiwa. It's Wiwa and Miku. Can we get a cam feed of your car? Yeah, sure. You probably won't see anything right now because it's so freaking dark. I'll go over there in a sec and hook up a car cam for you. Is it V8? Is that a new 6.7 type thing or like what? Chicken. It's chicken time. Walk. Yeah, what do we got? 1 star. 1 star. God, it's been so long since we have had a 5 star. I can't believe we had 2 in one stream. That was crazy. A V8 engine. Oh, I don't know. It's a car. Go vroom. I'm not a car guy, okay? My stepdad was a used cars salesman, so he gets me the cheap cars and they go, and that's kind of my life. I looked up the pain scale you and Charlie were talking about, and I think I do actually sit between a 5 and 7 based on the day. I'm sorry. I beat Resident Evil 7. Is that a hard game? How impressed should I be? How proud of you should I be for this? A bit hard? Well, I'm proud of you. Died at some areas. Did you have fun? Did you enjoy yourself? Because that's the most important part. Guys, boring question. Really boring question. Oh my god, it's getting loud. It's getting real loud. Real boring question, but which of the Pokemon starters, the new ones, would you pick? Did you guys see those? Fire Palm? I cried during the story, so yes. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm not sure what I want to go with. Because the Fire Palm does kind of speak to me, and I feel like he's going to evolve into a himbo. And I don't like the gecko, but I feel like the gecko might turn into something really cool. Really gay. Gekwa, probably. And I'm intrigued by the bird. I know it's not the most original thought, but I wish the grass water starters were more unique. Yeah, because they've done grass bird before, right? I didn't check the Pokemon news. What are the starter Pokemon? There's like there's a gecko and there's a water gecko. There's a fire Pomeranian, and then there is a grass bird, a grass Angry Bird. The bird looks like Angry Birds Illumination. The fire starter is giving Pal World, and the gecko is giving Littlest Pet Shop. None of them have really clicked in my mind as Pokemon yet, but I still think they're cute. Oh, bunny for Lady Goofus. Yes, yes. Delivering the bun. 1 star. I pulled a little white rabbit. Oh, and a bunny for Stone as well. Okay. We got this. We got this. Big money, big money. 2 star. Head of a hat? Yeah. That's where I get them from. I can technically make the animals breed, but I never do that. You do that to basically combine their strengths, but I have so much money in this game that it doesn't matter. Gen 7 had a grass owl, Gen 8 had a water lizard, Gen 6 had a firefox, but that's a bit different. Yeah, a fox is different than a dog. I checked the designs. I'm picking the Fire Pomeranian. That's good. I can the Fire Pomeranian's really cute. I feel like we're just going the water starter has the same energy as the duck from last generation. Ursula, what am I looking at? I see it now. I see it. I see the vision. Five stars are probably rare because you're supposed to breed them. Yeah, the breeding kills the parents. They're like they're like they're like insects, like certain types of insects. Breeding kills the parent, and the child retains the power level of the highest level parent or above. To a guy I used to know. Oh no. Oh no. I'm cautiously optimistic about the new Pokemon. It's probably coming out in October, right? That's usually when Pokemons come out, they were saying. Because if that's the case, I can probably get it for my birthday. Because I do have a Switch too. I feel so bad. My brother got me Octopath Traveler Zero and I just haven't touched it. I'm like a huge Octopath 2 fan, and I just haven't gotten around to Octopath Zero because I'm afraid that it's not going to be good. Because I don't like Octopath 1, so it was kind of a gamble. Now that I think about it. Your birthday next year? Yeah. It's not coming until 2027? Okay. Yeah, my birthday then. My future birthday. That's fair. Does anyone remember the ZA Mega DLC? Um, I remember it exists. I didn't play it. I didn't like ZA all that much. By the end, I was like ZA was okay, and then I got to the end of it, and it was not a good time. It was, it started grating on me. It overstayed its welcome. So I don't think I would have liked the DLC. The DLC looked really grindy. Why would I pay $30 if they can't even make a second location? Yeah. Quit making that rat lose weight. Pikachu? They really yassified Pikachu in the preview. I liked the yassified vacation Pikachus. Oh, I like how they announced the DLC just as they announced the main game. Yeah, I don't love that tendency of recent Nintendo games. Can they just give me an actual DLC for Tears of the Kingdom? They just put a negative filter over an already cheap looking city. Yeah, they really did. I couldn't believe how boring the epilogue gameplay of ZA was in a more of the same kind of way. Yeah, it's just yeah, I had to stop. I didn't even care to finish at that point. Bones, have you ever done the Zelda Notes thing for Tears of the Kingdom? Might only be Switch 2. Yeah, it's for Switch 2. Once I'm able to, I'm gonna buy the expansion DLCs for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom because I'd like to have them. And then I'll probably go through those all on stream. I've been thinking. Because I feel like I'd definitely be into that. And they're not that expensive. It's Nintendo's 15 years behind the rest of the industry, so they're at the release the rest of the game as DLC phase. Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it? The most interesting part was when L fell through the floor during our battle, and I trapped him in an empty battle. Oh my god. Until I closed the game and opened again. That's crazy. The faster load time in the Switch 2 versions of Tears of the Kingdom is so good. I bet it's really good in Breath of the Wild too, because Breath of the Wild does this thing where whenever you enter the shrine, it reloads the entire world for some reason. So this is the fabled bone stream. Is it fabled? I don't know if it's fabled. You've heard tell of it. I'm just a little creature that makes comics. I'm not even supposed to be streaming today. I just got really excited and forgot what day it was again. I forgot what day it was because I was doing a bunch of audiobook editing, but I finished and I got paid. So that was pretty pog. And then I went to the grocery store and didn't have to worry about how much money things costed. It was so good. Oh, she waking up. You leaving us? Oh, no, she's just spinning. Oh, precious creature. Was the audio editing a freelance thing? Yeah. Yep. They know a lot of other writers, so I should probably ask them to put in a good word for me too. Oh, they're so cute. Miku is just conked out though. Serena will have to knock over the camera if she wants to get off the couch though. So I will have to, if she does want to actually leave, I'll have to get up and help her. I don't think she will though. I think she's just gonna sleep there. She just had to adjust. They do so much sleeping. Ugh. I didn't realize they were doing DashCon 3. I didn't even get to apply. I don't think they're calling it DashCon 3. I think it's forever DashCon 2, but it's so close to me. I could totally go. I don't really have a lot of stock though. I don't have a lot of stuff to sell these days. I've not been keeping up with that stuff. I guess I have a lot of Ace Anthology to sell because I had to close my freaking Etsy store. Ugh, that's such a pain in the ass. So if this tariff stuff sorts out, I can finally do another Avo Kickstarter, which would be cool. I'm probably gonna be working on a video game once Ushi's out of school. It's probably what we're gonna be doing. Because my brother wants to make one. Yum 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 yum. Oh. My back is already killing me. I really need to set up my cozy stream spot like Charlie does. Okay. Now we just gotta go back and there's a few scenes where I just didn't color random characters in. Like this one. Ba 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 da ba. Part of me like is not starting the audiobook because I feel bad if Orzi doesn't get to, or Zoe doesn't get to hear. Sometimes I get so sleepy when I look at tech reviews. I just can't with tech reviews. It's like with cars and tech. I just weaponize incompetence and let other people in my life make the decision for me. I'm like, brother, you have a fancy almost degree in computer stuffs. What do I get? What do I buy? Or Zori walking home. I was just talking about you. I was saying I was gonna do an audiobook stream, but I felt bad if we continued without you. Weaponizing incompetence, that's the most masculine thing I've ever heard you say. Yeah. It's just funny that I do it in the least masculine parts of my life, which is like tech and stuff. I would love to weaponize incompetence for a mechanic lady. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. I do like editing audiobook, even though I complained the whole time I was doing it. I it it feels like it's like when I do graphic design, it feels like actually using stuff I learned in school. Cause I was in a tech magnet program. So I did film and graphic design were my two majors, I think. I was a little confused on what my majors were. I know definitely one of them was graphic design because that's how I ended up getting my first job. My heart wasn't in it. I went into the program so that I didn't have to go to a regular high school. But it was like a high school where you would get like the equivalent of a community college course out of it. So it was quite intensive. Most of the other kids were in like theater tech, so they were crawling through the rafters and stuff, like tech people do. Which I think is why I like streaming so much, because there was also a lot of that, because the initial course was kind of figuring out what tech direction to go in. So we did stage tech, and stage tech is so similar to live streaming, setting up microphones and video feeds and all that crap. And I guess that would be the same as doing video, like film class. I was always editor whenever a group project happened. I was not an actor. I remain not an actor. And I am not a audiobook narrator by any means. That is Ushi's realm. I am a editing guy. Oh, I missed a kibbe here too. You're a debunker? What am I debunking? I'm a PNG tuber. I don't know if it's still the case, but like and I'm Unk, but like PNG tuber has such a negative connotation in my mind. In my mind, PNG tubers were the ones that would be like anti-feminist PNG tubers. That's just like an ancient era. Just a bunch of anti-feminists that are totally not furries with their fursonas. Oh, hi, Moon. Hello, Moon. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm having a good time here. You're home now. Huzzah! But I was saying, I was just talking about you, and then you showed up. Because I was saying I want to listen to audiobooks, but I'd feel bad if Oizori didn't get the chance to hear. How's Ushi doing? Ushi's good. She is on spring break. Spring break time for Ushi. My bad, I was working. No, it's my bad. I just randomly decided to stream. My cat tried to kill me because he had to tinkle. He is free to tinkle anytime, but he just gets violent before he tinkles. I see. Yeah, Ushi's good. Ushi is on spring break, as I was saying. She got a bunch of homework to do. It's reading week. So she's gonna be staying at home doing all that work. And she doesn't have any McDonald's this week, which sucks for money, but I got paid for an audiobook, which is way more than she would make for a week of McDonald's, so it works out. Educational ooshes, yeah. Yeah. In a bit, we will continue the audiobook where we left off. I'll try and surmise where we were. It's our serial. And then I could maybe lock in on working on this. Oh, I was gonna grab I needed the table color. What's the issue? So I should just hide my iPad and look it up. If I could find where my freaking iPad source is. Okay, cool. Let me just grab that quick. Can you go back to the lesbian part? The whole book is lesbian parts, so don't worry. Because we did leave off after she stripped for her. I need the table color. And I have to do it off screen because I don't want to accidentally share a bunch of stuff I'm not supposed to share. Okay. Like spoilers, NDA work, cute pictures of cats that I don't think you deserve to see. All that. There we go. Yo! All right. Okay, we got it. We got everything. I need to adjust in my suit. It's all falling apart. There we go. Much more comfy. I filled my sketchbook and I wasted all my money on a keyboard. Sadly, I am slowly sinking into the art block void. Oh no. I did some art using the lasso fill tool. I don't know how people use it, but it feels fun and quick to use. It is fun. I don't like using it, but it is fun when it works. It's annoying when your little pencil skips around. And I'm just too dumb to make it work. All right. So we do got Storytime Ushi here. I did set her up. She's looking adorable based on Charlie's concept art. So we now got Storytime Ushi. So we can listen to more of the audiobook. Because we're listening to Ushi reading the Books of Avo, which is this comic. And we got through this scene, actually, that I am working on right now. I need to figure out what frickin' color I used as my multiply layer. So I'm gonna... Actually, it's on white. I think this is pure white, so I think if we just grab that, we will be fine. Yeah, what even happened? So we were introduced to all, like, the main cast. Everyone was introduced. I miss Ushi more and more every day. Well, we'll at least get to hear her. She doesn't have like an animation yet, but Ushi will be adding a blink animation to the Ushi bot. I shouldn't call her Ushi bot because I don't like bots these days. Let me get you your deer real quick. Basically, we met Juliet, who is a lady. She is a landlady, owns an apartment, takes care of it, and there's an elf in there that's destroying it. And she's very Juliet's very gay. We learned that. There's Aaron. He was snooping on Master Whiteheart, who is who is Lul, whomst I love. So we did that. Yeah, cancel Juliet. She's a landlady. She mostly had Tria, the elf, in her apartment because she thought her being an elf was really freaking cool. And Tria basically has destroyed her apartment. No one else can really live in it. So Juliet was getting evicted from her own apartment by her dad because her dad is the one who actually owns all their buildings. And Juliet's parents are always setting her up on dates and things. I drank an ultra blue Hawaiian Monster and now I'm tripping. Oh no. You need to sit down. You need to sit down and relax. That's dangerous. What else? So then Juliet meets a dragon named Feria. She shows up in town, and Juliet falls head over heels for this dragon, and they meet up. Oh right, Juliet's also cursed. There's like a like a twig growing in her ear because of the elf. So she ends up part of, I don't know what had happened. Oh my god, it's so hard to remember. I hate summarizing things. Cursed for snooping around. Yeah, she got cursed for snooping around in the elf's apartment. And so she meets the dragon, and the dragon's like, that's pretty serious. We need to figure this out. So you come and meet me at this speakeasy, and we'll talk. So they go to the speakeasy, and she's like, okay, I either fix your ear and send you on your merry way, or you help me out. But in order to help me out, you have to be naked because it's just dragon culture. So Juliet's like, there's no way I'll do that. Except she doesn't actually say that. She goes she goes ahead and gets naked for the dragon and joins in on the plan. And that's when Aaron and Tria, who are friends, we learn they're friends. They're working together. They meet up with Feria, and it becomes clear that they have a plan to reunite the sages. Because Feria's a sage, Tria's a sage, Aaron's a sage, and they need to find the other three sages in order to do what sages do. And what sages do is rewrite the laws of the universe. And they need to rewrite the laws of the universe because Big Bad is coming back. God of Shadow, Atalo, he's returning because he killed all the elves. That's why Juliet's so excited about elves existing. She's like, but they're supposed to all be dead, but I guess there is one alive. Oh right, Tria is also the daughter of Atalo. And Aaron is an angel, but he's exiled, so he doesn't have wings, and he gets tired easily because he doesn't have magical angel light that comes from their wings. I need to go to the washroom. I'm realizing I need to go washroom. I will leave YouTube in silence, and Twitch can enjoy these bops. I inhaled it, actually. Oh no, that's even worse. I almost fell. You need to sit down. Relax. Bathroom break? Yeah, bathroom break, and then we're going to lock in. Hey, I am back. Um, Also, if you get distracted by music, you can go on the McKay and Gray channel where I'm also streaming, and there won't be music on my YouTube channel anymore. I'm a light the chat on fire. Anyone have a lighter? Thank God I came back. No fires. Oh my god. I went into the bathroom and I forgot that Lear was in there, so I turned the light on and he was not happy about the light being on. He's just sleeping in the bathroom on the radiator. He's like, ugh. Ugh, why? Why did you do this to me? Where did I save the Books of Avo? Is it on the desktop? Yes. So we are moving into chapter 6. Whack ass dog, respectfully. What? But arson? No arson. Oh, cute dog. Lear's a cat. Yeah, Lear's a cat. He's sleeping in the bathroom right now. That's what he does. It's cozy in there. Okay, I need to turn my music down a little smidgen, I think. Feels like a little bit loud. Okay. Okay. Let's get doing this. Also, if you just want to catch up, you just gotta look at my stream VODs and you can watch the old VODs, and yeah, that's where you can find them. That, or you can just get the book from wherever wherever my store is. Itch.io, that's it. Alright, chapter 6. Let's frickin' go.
Chapter 6. The Cat's Fancy didn't do much business during the day. The majority of its customers were either oblivious to the nightlife or nursing midday hangovers with coffee and muffins.
How's that for volume, guys? Is that good? Can you hear Ushi? Her mouth do be flapping. The little storytelling Ushi is working. The flap be working. Good volume. YouTube, can you hear her? Is she working for you as well, YouTube? Just need to make sure I didn't. Yes, you can hear her? Okay. All right, let's begin.
Aaron spent the remainder of the night with thoughts racing. Tria did little to assuage his fears, memories of their meeting drifting from her as fast as they arrived. He gleaned little information about the Sage of Water. According to Tria, she was an elf of the goddess's forest, and that was about it. The exact same information Feria had given. Aaron barely knew a thing about the Western Woods. He racked his mind for any mention of it from his uncle or grandmother, but nothing came to him. Maybe if I order a tea? Aaron looked up over the counter at the menu. Tea was his one and only consistent comfort in life. Delivery to the floating city led angels to their preserves. Though, maybe most immortals liked preserves. Whether he ordered or not, he wasn't certain tea would actually bring him answers. His gaze faltered as he met eyes with Eketo. Having tailed Master Whiteheart across the city to hot spots and happening parties, it wasn't the first time he'd been in the company of the spirit. "Can I help you?" the spirit purred. "Me?" Aaron's voice squeaked for nerves. "Mm-hmm. You're Lul's exile, aren't you?" Aaron scowled at the phrasing. "I was in his employment, yes. As of now, I've quit." "Good." Eketo flapped his wings before leaping onto the counter space in front of Aaron. "A despicable beast. The fact that Kara shows him forgiveness is beyond me." "Pardon?" "Kara, spirit of civilization. She was on the Earth Council with me. She gave up her voice when she decided on a form. Otherwise, I'd speak with her about the business." I actually know Kara," Aaron stammered. "But she knows Master Whiteheart? And forgive him for what exactly?" Eketo tilted his head. "Are you telling me you don't recognize him?" Aaron turned to Tria. She wasn't paying attention. Likely didn't even hear the question. No. Am I supposed to?" "With a scar like that, how can you not?" Aaron considered it, tapping his fingers to the counter as he strained once again to remember.
No, Aaron's dumb.
I have no idea. Lul, scarred face, more self-obsessed than a dragon. Eketo continued to prompt. "Were you born yesterday?" Pretty close," Aaron admitted. "I'm 87. "Oh," Eketo paused. "Then allow me to educate you. That master of yours is none other than Atello's right-hand man, Lul, spirit of sin. What? He jumped to his feet. Tria, did you know this? Tria glanced up at him. I thought I told you. No, you didn't. You said they were friends. You didn't say he was Atello's favorite spirit. Aaron scowled before his head fell into his hands. Oh no, he knows all my secrets. Is that bad? That's bad, isn't it? Ekato sighed. I wouldn't stress about it. If he wanted to harm you, he'd have already gotten away with it. I suppose you lucked out there. I guess, Aaron groaned. But what was I supposed to find out from him? There has to be a reason you had me tail him, Tria. She shrugged. Why wouldn't you spy on his spirits? That's true, Ekato affirmed. There's been a handful of Shadow Council skulking about recently. There's something happening, isn't there? Aaron nodded without consideration. Anyone we should worry about? Any obvious descriptions I should be aware of? Each shadow spirit is different than the next. Some worry me, others aren't worth a thought. But ever since Atello's last uprising, they all have one thing in common. A scar. Ekato wiped his eye with a paw. In his last moments of freedom, Atello struck them. A foolish move, if you ask me. Aaron crinkled his brow. Why would he do that? From what I've heard, there was a traitor amongst them. She was killed.
Among
The rest
us.
were marked in a display of power, I'd assume. I see. Aaron slumped. I'll keep my eyes out for them. Oh, there is one I need to mention, Ekato interrupted. There is one spirit in his council that bears no mark. If she does, it exists in her mind alone. Nikki is her name, and she can take the form of any race or beast. Why she was allowed to remain undecided on a form is beyond me. Nikki? She can look like anybody? Ekato nodded, but she's far from clever. Again, it's simply a matter of keeping tabs on her. I think I met her, Aaron muttered, feeling further and further out of his depth. From the quiet end of the counter, Tria spoke up. Ekato, do you know of the water sage? He purred. Leave it to an elf to ask a question beyond my depths. I don't know a thing about her.
Gonna go bye. Good
You
night,
may,
chat. Good night, say.
Tria prompted.
Say
She
Vanina.
was an elf of the western wood. He licked his paw, slicking back his ears. Do I know all wood elves? No, but you know the earth goddess. Deadwood, I was on the Earth Council. He sighed, tilting his head back to the cakes. But as you can see, things change. Would Kara know? Aaron perked up. Oh, Ekato nodded. I think she would. It's likely she knows where the goddess of Earth resides these days. There's no guarantee that she knows the location of the water sage, however. Sounds worth a shot. Aaron tried to smile. My uncle is friends with Kara. I'm sure that he can get us in touch. Before he could stand, the spirit began again. Would you mind if Miss Deadwood and I had a chat before you leave? A chat? Tria raised a brow. We didn't get to speak last night, and I've always wanted to. Faria's told me all about you. Tria's brow remained raised. Strange. Faria doesn't know all about me. Fair, but she told me about your condition. The haze, the apathy. He stopped for another bout of preening. And how is that your business? It isn't, but ever since I heard about your predicament, I've had theories. I've been holding on to this one for a while. Theories? Aaron looked between the two. You've known immortals, right? I doubt you've seen one as disconnected as she. I know I have never encountered a mind like Miss Deadwood's. Even if an immortal allowed 1,000 years to pass her, in the silence, in the dark, she would still recall each moment, and she would certainly still shed a tear for the stings of the past. He turned his attention back to Tria. No, this is different. Faria was so proud of successfully removing you from the Mirage, but I don't think she did. Tria stood abruptly. I'm not talking about this. Ekato hummed as he thought. Was that bitterness? So some things break through. Her brows creased.
Don't
If
be
you
weird.
must know, There
be a
was a
weird
time
kitty.
when my emotions weren't as diluted, and I knew what happened in a year. Feria is from that time. And that time was before you left the Mirage, right? You're really from the Mirage? Aaron asked. That's the rumor, the spirit purred. And those born in the Mirage aren't meant to leave. And then there's her father's imprisonment. Makes one wonder. We should go meet Kara. Tria was suddenly gripping tight on Aaron's elbow. Everything blurred, his light fading with the touch. Very well, Miss Deadwood. Aaron barely heard the spirit's farewell. He was pulled through a cloud of shadow. As Tria loosened her grip on him, the dark remained. He stumbled up what must have been the staircase, though he couldn't be sure. It was all a haze around him. He followed the darkest point. Though dull, he could feel the setting shift. The dryness and chill air of the establishment hit a wall of humid air. He could hear the door to the automobile open. Cutting through the shadow was the glow that nestled in the notebook. Aaron took a seat, regaining himself as he touched the book's surface. He could feel the light through the pages, drawing it into the empty gray. He leaned back, taking a few breaths as if he hadn't the chance in years. He pressed his back to the seat, glancing next to him where Tria had taken her spot. She watched him closely, her neutral expression looking critical. What was all that? He managed to ask. All what? She replied sharply, clearly remembering what had riled her. Never mind it. We're busy.
Like the script
Are you
text in
sure
the
you can get us to
description
your
Bones
family?
makes? Oh, thank you.
I think I can, though it would mean us stealing this automobile for Master Whiteheart. That's fine. She adjusted in her seat. Let's get this over with. The Whiteheart Manor was bathed in shadow, the halls heavy with silence.
Sorry, I am
But even the
excited for this
darkest
scene.
room didn't aid Lul's hangover. The toll of his final party was a little like a bullet to the brain. He draped his arms over the balcony rungs. Beneath him was the dance floor, still scuffed from the night before. But no one was left to clean up. He dismissed every last servant in a sudden but solemn farewell. He hoped they didn't bother finding new jobs. It was a courtesy to set them
The
free,
excitement when a
allow
Lul
them to
scene.
see their families before the world ended. Right, he grimaced, thoughts struggling to sound out above the pain. It's almost over. He dragged a hand along the railings, descending the steps in the direction of his bar. Nothing quieted a hangover quite like a drink, and even if it weren't the case, he needed it in the meantime. Nikki's next babysitter had yet to arrive. Leah was as agonizing as a hangover, even when not paired with Nikki. While Leah was far less erratic, she put in a seriousness to her role among shadow spirits, though maybe in her spot he would have. Leah did not originate from their council. Instead, she was made by the goddess of light. She'd clawed herself free of the light spirit's demise, begging for her freedom, finding her place in Italo's graces. The spirit of life, a traitor, just like her opposite. Lul took up a half-empty bottle, barely feeling the burn as he poured it down his throat. The warmth came slowly after, brushing against his aches. It offered him a pleasant dimness. The worries ahead faded to a warm static. As he took up the bottle again, a rattle stopped him. He turned sharply. Lul! A woman's voice echoed through the manor. Are you here? It didn't sound like Leah. Maybe Nikki playing with a new voice? Who's asking? Lul replied. Aurora! Aurora? He picked up his pace,
Wife
rarely
material.
feeling so light on his feet. Beyond the dance floor, waiting in the foyer, was the most
Best
beautiful
Avo
woman in
character.
existence. Aurora was dressed in evening wear, a backless red dress that gave room for all 4 of her arms, and then some. What brings the spirit of lust to my manor? Lul grinned. Lul, she returned a smile. It's been too long. Without a second to respond, Aurora had him in her arms. Her lowermost pair slid into his dressing gown. The uppermost secured his shoulders. She kissed his cheek, lips, and... Then she hesitated. Her eye lingered on his scar. Her own was equally brutal, but more hidden. A lace eye patch covered where she'd been gouged, hidden further with a curly bang. Powder covered the ragged scars that were dragged down her cheek. Sometimes it still hurt. At least, that's what she'd said the last time they spoke. Are you okay? She asked. You didn't answer my question, Lul smirked. It's been at least a decade since you visited. Hush, Aurora giggled, pressing a finger to his lip. That's barely a minute. Are you really that insatiable? How is that a question? I don't know. Maybe if you made yourself easier to find, I had to ask the Spirit of Dreams to track you down. Lul scowled. So you're the one that sent Vasette after me? She shook her head. No, he's already been following you. You sleep a lot. Correction, I drink. Oh, I see. Her finger circled his back. Lul smiled back at her. So, what are you doing here? Am I not
Little
allowed
parties
to
he wasn't
check on
found.
you?
It's a big world.
You worry me when you're all off on your lonesome. Then you'd be happy to hear I've had plenty of guests. She glanced around herself at the empty space and shadow. Oh my, you're right. It's bustling here. How did I miss it? You did miss it. I'm leaving soon. Last shindig finished a few hours ago. Up until then, I hardly had a second to myself. Good. Her smile softened, an obvious concern bubbling up to the surface. I'm really sorry I haven't been around. It's a stressful time, I understand. Yeah, she sighed softly, slumping forward. Okay, I know you're on to me. I'm not above popping in for no reason, but that's not the case. Vasette wasn't the main reason I went to Dream. I spoke with Italo. He wants me to keep my eye on you. Lul grimaced. Does he now? She nodded. I think he's worried about you too. That would be a twist. I don't know what else it would be. Maybe he needs you in a better mood to help his plan. Better mood? He raised a brow. I didn't know I was in a bad one. Lul, after Lenora died... Let's not. He cut her off. I understand why he had to kill her. I'm not going to let any of my feelings cloud what I have to do. All right, she slumped. I guess I should leave you to it then. I wouldn't want to distract you. He shook his head. No, stay. I'd love a distraction. He tried to regain some of the initial delight. I'm only a little surprised Italo sent a babysitter for me. I swore you were Leah. Leah's here? Not yet. I'm waiting on her to show up. She's going to keep an eye on Nikki. Aurora looked around her. And Nikki's here? Not right now. I let her run off a bit ago. Lul! Oh, shush. I'm sure Leah can track her down. She loves a dragon hunt. Aurora shook her head. Maybe this is why you need a sitter. Do you know how much trouble she could be up to? Maybe we should... Don't worry about it. He pulled her closer. It's been too long since we had time together.
Dragon
I've
hunt?
missed you. Same to you, she smiled back. So, you said you wanted to cheer me up? I have a few ideas. I'm ready to hear them. She slid her hands down his shoulders, bringing his robe down with them.
80s lady.
There was a tingle of cold air, made starker by her touches. Her lips warmed to his neck.
Juliet's on a dragon hunt.
The night ended at the Star Point Inn. While never visiting
Speaking
the hotel
of.
before, everything from the intricate carpets to the starlight chandeliers was familiar. It was the kind of luxury Juliet came to expect on her vacations. Though on vacation, she'd never found herself sleeping on the lounge chair. The dragon took the mattress, rolling around under the sheets as she snored ashy breaths. The liquor had certainly got to the dragon, if not the anger for the Deadwoods. She crashed shortly after entering the room. There was little to be gained asking her about the day to come. Juliet stilled her questions, waiting for sleep. She bunched her sheets around herself and shut her eyes. Dreams crept in from the shadows. Dark roots tangled. She could see nothing, body bound up in a shifting sprawl. Even in the dark, she recognized the space. She was below Miss Deadwood's apartment, somewhere in the ceiling, where roots moved like serpents. They pulled her down, choking her when she tried to cry out. A voice droned above her. Another responded, sending vibrations down to where Juliet was trapped. So, the sages have uncovered the truth. It spoke. Whatever it was, it gave Juliet no impression, no identifying features, only the shadow of words in her mind. There is a traitor in my ranks, as you know, but you are better than that. They cannot win with you at my side. Juliet strained against the roots. A sharp pain stilled her, a loud aching in her jaw. Roots tightened before vanishing. She fell suddenly, jerking awake on the lounge chair. Her heart pounded, her jaw stiff and body sore where the roots had held. Juliet groaned, touching a hand to her cheek. The dream was uncomfortably real. What if the voices were too? She shivered, leaning forward in the direction of Feria's bed. She stopped as she felt something move in her mouth. At the back of her mouth, she found a lump. It grew out from her lower jaw, finding a place amongst her furthest-most teeth. Feria? Juliet marched over to the bed. The dragon groaned, rolling up in her sheet. I had the strangest... An ache ran through her head. The lump moved in her mouth, wriggling down below her tongue like some worm. Juliet lurched forward, shaking the pile of blankets. The dragon grumbled, slowly lifting herself up. The blankets fell down her shoulders, morning light bathing her. She looked on at Juliet with half-open eyes. The plants tightened once again. The plants... She pointed at her mouth. They started growing. Feria let out a deep breath. She cleared her eyes with slow blinks, moving her face close to Juliet's. Did you think they'd stop? Juliet shook her head, but at the same time, they had stopped. The conversation didn't invigorate them like trying to discuss the dream she had. You'll be fine. You're probably anxious after everything you've heard. Again, Juliet shook her head. No, well, yes, obviously, but I felt them moving around. Feria, can they tell what I'm trying to talk about? Feria narrowed her eyes. In a way. Then I think there is something important I know. I just don't understand it. Juliet clenched her jaw, trying to snip the root in her mouth. Maybe I could weather a few roots and tell you. Don't you dare, Feria scowled. I can puzzle it out without your sacrifice. It'd only be a few leaves. You don't know that. And if you do know something important, perhaps something that crossed your dreams... Feria watched Juliet's expression, then smiled. Yes, if Miss Deadwood or that shadow spirit have some business with you, whatever that would be, I want to learn all that we can. Juliet felt a weight lift as the dragon pieced it together. You'll have to tell me about this dream business, because here I am thinking it's a bunch of nonsense passing through my head. It can be, but if someone is threatening you not to speak, that is no simple dream. But why would... Juliet coughed as the root snaked down her throat. Feria scowled. Leave the talking to me.
She's smart.
Miss Deadwood set these tattletale seeds upon you. Miss Deadwood knows well enough to navigate the world of dreams. Why she would have an interest in you, I don't know. She could mean to get to me, or maybe it's something worse. But until a life other than yours is in danger, let me ponder out Deadwood's plans. Juliet nodded softly. I suppose now that I'm up, we should get to work. We won't have time for any more hangovers. We need to meet with the king. Juliet nodded more, but she felt stiff. Her mind couldn't leave the topic of dreams. Do you really think that she could kill me? Her throat dried before she struggled with the last words. She knew that the plants could someday do so, but until she felt the move, it had seemed so distant. Of course, their roots are deep. They are? Feria nodded. She brought her hand to Juliet's ear, tracing a finger down her neck, shoulder, and slowly down her arm. With her skin bare, Juliet could see what Feria was following, subtle lines beneath her skin. They looked like veins, but thicker and off in color. She stopped at a green line on her wrist. The skin was raised, plant below flirting with breaking out. Juliet felt dizzy, taking a seat on the mattress so as not to fall. Is it really that bad? Feria nodded, but not the worst. We'll figure out what her plan is before we reach the book.
Fucked up, Tria.
I hope so. Yes, but none of this matters if the princess is executed. Let's clean up. Maybe you can do a bit of facial gardening while I procure some makeup. The king wouldn't say no to a pair as lovely as us. Facial gardening? Juliet grimaced. Oh, right. The bathroom mirror is all yours.
Oh, we did it. We made it through chapter 6. We got to meet Aurora, my favorite, best girl, and the roots be growing in Juliet. It's real. And I'm making some progress on this art. It definitely helps to lock in while I'm listening to stuffs. Oh, Serena's so cute on the puppy cam. Such a good addition. Such a good addition. It's always good to have the puppy cam going. All right, I'd say we just move on to chapter 7. I mean, why not, right? I'm down. Uji looks so cute reading.
Chapter 7. The star covered the country sky. On either side of the automobile, grain drooped in the iridescence. Spring fawns cleaved to their mothers as they made wary eyes at the foreign sky. The floating city made a rotation across the land every year. It was a procession to the capital of shadow and light, to the dungeons where the exiles would be sent. Aaron bristled. Through the crystal, the sun was rising. He and Tria had driven straight for hours, a feather bunched between his hands and the wheel. The feeling of light was already uncomfortable before the star swallowed all above them. The city passed quickly, but the countryside was endless. It would be hours longer before they reached Uncle Leo's farm. They'd meet somewhere beyond the star, under a clear sky. Beside him, Tria was asleep. She'd been out for an hour or so, muttering on occasion. At first he'd assumed she was speaking to him, but was embarrassed to realize this wasn't the case. Whatever sort of dream she was having was intense. Though given the past few days, he was sure his dreams would be the same. It was a while before she stirred. Her eyelids strained open. She pinched the bridge of her nose, nursing an ache before wiping her eyes. "You awake?" he asked. She shrugged slightly. I hope it was good. Sounded like you were having some dream." "Huh?" "You talk in your sleep." He glanced back at her. "Sounded pretty intense." Her face paled. "Why? What did you hear?" "Couldn't make it out." He shrugged. "Remember the dream at all?" She shook her head, a cold expression solidifying on her face. "That's okay," he said, squinting ahead through the light. "Just trying to pass the time. I'm glad you got to sleep. I don't do that much."
Sorry, the music.
His lip firmed, watching the floating city. "Nightmares, you know." "Of what?" He tipped his nose toward the star. "Falling?" The thought sent a chill through him. He shook his head. No, not that falling doesn't terrify me, but it stays out of my nightmares. I have these dreams of the star, being back there with my family right before something horrible happens. They find out I'm not supposed to be there, or they find out where Sindrith is hiding." "That's your cousin, right?" Aaron smiled. It was rare she recalled a fact like that. "He is." "Why is he hiding?" He sighed. "Because he's the son of an angel and human. Angels aren't kind about that. They aren't about a lot of things." Aaron gripped the wheel tighter. The oppressive glow made the memories hard to ignore. "Do I know why you were exiled?" she asked. Aaron shook his head. "I don't know if I could talk about it. A lot of bad memories." "Then I'll leave it," Tria said into the window. She'd already moved beyond their conversation. "I can't imagine being a human. Do they dream every night?" "I think so." Aaron bit his cheek. "But they probably have good dreams, too." "Right," she scoffed. "You've never had a good dream?" His heart sank. "Is it your father?" "No, and no," she glared. "If I have a good dream, it doesn't belong to me. The happy dreams are the ones I wander into." "Wander into?" "I know how to walk the world of dreams. It's a trick from the Council of Shadows." "Right." Aaron didn't like the mention of them. "My dreams are always the same nightmare," she said. "I dream of fire." "Fire?" "It sweeps across the land. Nothing survives." She tensed her fists. "When the ash settles, I am alone." "I think our dreams aren't so different then," he replied softly. About going into other dreams, how did you learn to do that?" Tria stiffened. "I told you about that?" Aaron nodded. "I see. I have a history with the shadow spirits. It comes with being his daughter. But how do you have a power like theirs? Have you heard about the mirage in the mountains? Ekito said that's where you came from. Atalo made everything there. It was sealed away, but there's a link between it and our world. Dreams. Even deep in his prison, Atalo dreams, seeping into the subconscious of all he deigns. I believe that I inherited this power from him. Wait. Aaron struggled to keep his focus on the road. Atalo can see into dreams? Do people know about this? I wouldn't worry about it. Most dreams are nonsense. At least, that's what I've gleaned. I don't want him looking at my dreams. She shrugged.
Tria's such a
You're not
freak.
concerned about this? Not even when you first found out? No, I don't know what you expect, but I've known this my entire life. It was how I visited him as a child. Aaron braked abruptly, unable to keep from veering into crops. You've talked to Atalo? Not in centuries. She looked around, taking note of the stopped automobile. Are we at your uncle's? No, I just need a break. Why would you ever talk to Atalo? She shrugged. Perhaps I should have hidden that? I'll remind myself to be less honest in the future. Wait, don't. Aaron hit his head against the headrest. I was caught off guard, that's it. Good goddess of Earth. I really don't know anything, do I? You're young. No, not just that. He shook his head. I don't know a thing about you, and here we've known each other 3 years. That's barely a minute. I guess, he said, while he continued to shake his head. I didn't expect you to have any sort of relationship with your father. I just can't imagine it. You only know what's shown to you. Wisdom gives you the ability to guess what cannot be seen. I was a child when I knew him. It was all that I knew. Aaron bristled, attention turning to the star. His most distant memories were similar, locked away in a world that only now he understood. How long were you in the mirage? I can't recall. I see, but you learned the truth? About what your father is really like? She nodded. It was clear as day, even to a mind as useless as my own. Aaron frowned at the remark, but let it be. When was the last time you spoke to Atalo? Not since I left,
Gotta pack
she
in
assured.
for the night.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
thanks.
He continued to assure himself.
Thanks for stopping by.
Now, I want to learn more about you going forward, but maybe we shouldn't bring up any of this around my uncle. I don't think he'll appreciate it. Very well. She leaned her elbow on the window as they continued. Good. He took a deep breath, not quite ready to start up again. Is there anything else like this you're holding on to? Nothing comes to mind. All right. He tried to get his body to relax. And just be careful in your dreams, okay? Angel's tears grew over Queen Alexandria II's tomb. The plants climbed the stone casket, winding up the statue of her that rested on top. It was lifelike, a sleeping woman of marble. King Asler approached, removing the vines that caressed her chin. When he touched his mother's casket, he stopped. His heart slowed, cold as the stone. The Queen of Shadows decided when she was approached, even when she lay in the temple garden, even when she was forgotten, a ruler overgrown with glistening dew. Asler fell to his knees, wiping a dribble of snot from his nose. At her funeral, it came to his attention how undignified a mourner he was. He'd been too young when his father passed, a confused toddler,
You
but at
okay,
18,
Serena?
he'd been put on display for all, a dribbling mess. His twin sister stood at his side, a picture of grace, dignity, and sociopathy. I'm sorry, he cried. Please take care of Alex. She'll be with you soon. He pressed his head to the stone.
He do be a
It was
sobby
only
baby.
a year since her passing, and now his sister's treason. He allowed a weary sob, followed by an eruption of tears and mucus. At first, he thought he heard the echoes of his tears.
I I'm being mean to Astler. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One of my friends read the book and made fun of him a lot. Now it's stuck in my head. I'm sorry. I apologize to the king.
But as he stopped, a sound continued in the garden.
He's just a
Chuff.
teenager.
Chuff! Chuff! The noise came from behind the casket, like scratchy breaths accented with squeaks. Asler surveyed the garden from one end to the other. The graveyard was bordered by a massive wall, taller than any trees inside the garden. The tombs were protected from the public, the memorials built throughout the capital. In other words, he should have been alone. Moving slowly, as not to cover the sound with his steps, he neared. The noises continued, petering off into gurgles. It definitely wasn't human, probably an injured bird or rodent. Pressing himself against the wall, he looked down the space between it and the tomb. There was about 1/2 foot of breadth, and 2 lavender eyes staring back at him. Fidget? He urged light into the darkness. Asler knew her face. The little fox was quiet, saliva dribbling down her chin. Her body was emaciated, contorting despite being past the point of exhaustion. Noticing the deliberate cut on her head, Asler felt queasy. He hesitated to grab her. While he doubted she was rabid, it was better to err on the side of caution. "We've been looking everywhere for you, Fidget," he said, as she growled like a feral animal. He coaxed light into the fox. He could almost feel the shadow clouding her mind. The light cut through it. To his relief, the tangle of shadow was forced out. Fidget fell limp. Asler wiped more tears. They'd nearly marked a grave for the beloved pet. After the attempt on his own life, he'd rightly assumed his sister had done something to the fox. Stretching his arm as far as he could into the crack, he secured Fidget in his hands. While not as small as a kit, her breed remained small enough to fit in his arms. The miniature Carolyn fox was lovingly referred to as the pink fox, for its adorable pink nose and cream-colored coat. Fidget was no exception, exceedingly adorable from the day his fiancée had purchased her. Free from the curse and the cramped space, Fidget burrowed into his sleeves. Asler inspected her injury closer. The cut was ragged, surrounded by bruises. She'd need a vet to nurse her back to health. It had been a long week for her, and an equally long week for him. "It's the right thing to do," he assured
This music's
himself.
a little crazy
What
for this
is?
scene.
Asler shot to his feet. Selin walked into the temple garden with arms crossed and burgundy lips pursed. His fiancée was uncharacteristically audacious. A heavily beaded dress clung to her curves, while piles of jewelry dangled from her neck and wrists. Even her hair was adorned with strings of silver crystal. With a flick of her head, they bounced aside.
I forgot we haven't met these two, actually, honestly. Well, I guess some of the team hasn't assembled. Okay.
What have I told you about being careful? No one can get out here. I did. Well, yes. His shoulders sagged. But with Alex gone, I don't have much to worry about anymore. Selin raised her brow. I have to leave anyways. Look who turned up. He raised Fidget the most he could without disrupting the fox. Oh, and the maids were so happy to be done with those rancid litter boxes. As she spoke, she leaned forward to stroke Fidget between the ears. She hated foxes. We'll have someone look after her. Right now, you have urgent business. I do? You are being summoned by the Ambassador of Dragons. About what? We can never be certain with their kind. That's why I should attend this meeting with you. I know far more about their customs. I see. Is that why you're so... So what? Beautiful, he smiled, attempting to give her a kiss. Selin pressed her hand to his lips. Pass. She rolled her eyes. What exactly would you do without me? Well, you know I'd be dead, he said in earnest. It was the truth. Without her, Alexandria would have stolen the throne. Sorry, I know you hate that. I do, she said. But you're right. What would this kingdom do without me? Should we change it to a Selindom? It'd make a lot more sense. The Selindom of Light and Shadow. I'll run it past my advisors. While she pretended not to, Selin smiled. She turned toward the garden entrance, beckoning him. She's all right, though? Yeah, he smiled softly, stroking Fidget. Her body was cold and frail, her breathing soft. I hope so. Alex had some spell on her. And you undid it? She raised a brow. Here I thought you were still afraid of your powers. Asler shrugged, but he couldn't shrug off his mother's words. Every spell is a challenge. Light follows shadows. Shadows follow light. She'd said it many times before. He clutched his heart, unable to stop a fresh batch of tears. Celine reached out to him. Sorry, He got closer, resting his head on her shoulder. Fidget readjusted as Celine went for a hug, sandwiching the fox in the process. The balance was different when Mom was queen, he continued, nestling against Celine's neck. I wasn't supposed to interfere with light, and she wouldn't wake the shadows. I always felt so bad for using it, but now I'm just afraid. The new Shadow Sage will be kinder, she reassured him. You're just saying that. We have no clue who Alex will give
She's
her
trying
powers
to itch her face.
Celine didn't move. Celine, he lifted his head to look into her eyes. There's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. After you saved my life, I want you to be the heir to my powers. Celine pushed away from him. Ow! Asler stumbled back, her fist landing square on his shoulder. I will not be your heir. You will have a child, and they will be your heir. You are not going to die. You are going to be an old geezer eating pureed goat heart through a straw before you even get to consider dying. I was just... King Asler, fire burned in her eyes. I and everyone else in this palace will take a bullet for you. We die first. Celine, we aren't arguing about this. If it comes down to it, I die first. He nodded, retreating his gaze to the ground. Celine spun around, her silver flat sparkling as she stomped along the passageway. Besides, it's almost over. Alexandria won't be an issue without her head. We can only hope, Asler sighed. He followed behind Celine. Beyond him, he could feel his mother's eyes.
Dougie went to sleep in Dougie bed.
One of Juliet's lifelong dreams was to visit the castle. She'd imagined it 1,000 times, striding into the room with poise. Her dress was like her mother's best, a blue ball gown made of elaborate folds, beads like dragon scales in the fabric. And despite the audaciousness, the dress only served to bring out the natural beauty of her eyes. But this wasn't a dream. It was a nightmare. Juliet entered the gateway, entirely naked. After breakfast, and an hour-long hair and makeup routine, Feria dragged them downtown. Juliet wasn't so lucky. The manageable little leaf in her ear had a growth spurt. An obtrusive branch grew up into her hair. She'd gone at it with a pair of scissors meant for mending her wardrobe, but she did little but scuff the bark. She gave up shortly after, doing what little she could to even out the green lumps that were appearing on her face. Though, assuming she'd be blushing head to toe, her green hue probably wouldn't be an issue. She followed Feria beyond the archway into the main courtyard. The twin trees twisted at the center of a massive garden. Juliet stopped to stare, the trees towering above them. The plants were ancient, their branches heavy with golden flowers. They were older than the kingdom of shadow and light, and were grander than any picture in her textbooks. Come along, Wellin, Feria beckoned. Juliet shut her gaping jaw. She tottered to catch up with Feria, forcing her tired body to move something like a bag of sand. With the nightmare and long meeting, she'd barely managed 2 hours of sleep. She was hardly a person. As she caught up with Feria, she wiped her eyes. Rubbing her cheeks, she tried to bring some life to her face and soothe the ever-present migraine. She shivered as they neared the castle. Feria, I can't do this. Do what? Feria marched on, not looking back. Go into the castle? Meet King Asler? Juliet shook her head. This will ruin my life. No, it won't. She continued walking, allowing Juliet to trail behind. It will, though. Juliet sputtered into tears. Feria, I'm naked. I'm growing a branch in my ear. I'm not usually one to care, but do you know what this will do to the Wellin name? Nothing, Feria smiled. They're used to people like you here, dragon maids and the like. The king won't judge you, and maybe if you behave, I'll put in a good word for your family. Don't you dare! Juliet pointed. I don't want any of this getting back to my mother. If you insist, Feria teased. But it's nothing to be embarrassed of.
Juliet
For one,
regretting
you're
her
adorable.
actions.
And two, nude dragon maids is a long-running tradition that the royal family has forgotten the origin of. In other words, they've come to expect it. If they forget the origin, why don't we turn around and get a dress? The dragon laughed so hard she couldn't speak. As she calmed herself into a steady breath, the wild grin remained. Just because they don't know why doesn't mean they don't expect it. It goes back to the days of riders. Rider? Juliet scowled. You mean elves? Feria nodded. Is it that dragon marriage thing Ekito was talking about? Because if you're doing that with... No, it isn't. You aren't a rider, but the tradition stems from it, Feria said. And it's not called dragon
It should
marriage.
be an emote. It should.
Dragon marriage is a different thing we like to call marriage. Juliet huffed. Now, will you calm down? This meeting is very important. The dealings with the royal family have changed a lot since the age of dragon hunting and pillaging, and I need you to not look like you're here against your will. I'll try. Good. Feria smiled and patted her cheek. We need King Asler to trust us, or they'll go through with the execution. Even in these days, our relations are strained. Juliet swatted the dragon's hand away. Maybe it's your weird traditions? Just behave. Feria rolled her eyes before leading the way through the remaining courtyard. The entranceway to the main hall appeared to be 20 feet tall, its edges overgrown with dawn glow. The stench of their nectar was invasive, the small flowers capable of sinus-punching perfumes. It was the exact fragrance stuffy ladies like her mother liked to wear. Feria pinched her nose as they passed, and Juliet followed suit. The throne stood at the end of the king's hall. Lights hung from the swooping curves of the ceiling. Along the staircase were rows of stained glass images, nearly a dozen on each side. A woman, half dead, half alive. A man with blue eyes. A black dragon. An angel with silver wings. And they went on, all leading to the throne. Feria growled, her eyes fixed on the glass images. The room was silent. Juliet noticed the guards that stood in the shadows. They watched Feria warily, but were as affected by her presence as everyone else. Time dragged on before they saw a shadow move. The king stepped down the stairs, breaking beams of sunlight as he passed the windows. At his elbow was a woman in a gleaming dress. The maroon fabric trailed behind her, jewels clicking with each step. The king was casually dressed, compared to his public appearances. He bore no medals, no ribbons, no sash, and no crown. If she didn't know who he was, Juliet would have assumed he was nothing important. As he stopped at the last step, Juliet bowed. It seemed more appropriate, giving her the chance to cover herself more than with a curtsy. Feria did nothing. She glared at the king, lips twitching, smoke seeping from the slight opening. She only began to relax when the noblewoman curtsied, the king bowing to her slightly after. It's so lovely to have you, Ambassador Feria. The woman spoke first, trailing Feria as she approached the throne. Feria smirked. Lovely to meet you. What's your name? Lady Selene. I hail from Tia. Really? Feria climbed the steps to the throne. The Mountain of Ash. The village at its foot, yes. A neighbor to you and your kin. I'm uniquely qualified to speak with your kind. She grimaced as Feria caressed the throne's arm. I hope you don't mind me taking part in your meeting. King Asler would prefer it this way. If you're an expert on dragons, I suppose you should stay. Tell me. Feria took the throne. How is Tia doing these? Feria! Juliet marched forward, about ready to give the dragon a good smack. Quiet, maid! Fire roared. It circled the great throne, Juliet stumbling back into Selene's arms. Your words mean nothing to my kind. Now, mortal, tell me of Tia. The flames spread across the hall in controlled lines. They burned around the room's perimeter, sealing the exits and licking the portraits. Feria relaxed on the throne. The dress made her appear regal, if not deranged. The heat blocked Juliet from approaching. Her anger heated her insides before the fire could. Selene cut in front of Juliet and King Asler. Tia is as well as it can be with your smoke above it. And Kamiri, the goddess, how is she? I wouldn't know, Ambassador. Right. Then I suppose the chatting should be best left to the important people. With a simple flick of her eyes, Feria discarded the woman. She gave the king her full attention. King Astler, I don't mean to be so hard on her. If she's the one informing you of our customs, she has done well. King Astler said nothing. It can't be. Juliet narrowed her eyes. The king was shaking. King Astler,
Baby.
you're about to make the worst mistake in the history of history. In 4 months, Lord Italo will awaken from his slumber and begin a new reign of terror.
True fucker and a find out moment, Juliet. Yeah. She fucked around a lot, and now she's finding out a lot, huh? Dragons be dragoning.
That is, he will if the sages do not rewrite his sentence. Your sister must not be executed, or there will be no hope. Italo? Selene scoffed. Is this some sort of trick? Was I speaking to you? Princess Alexandria III is a liar, deceiver, and traitor. Has she wormed into your mind to save her skin? We will not stand to keep her more than we've already allowed. The fire brightened. Juliet's body was drenched, the heat stinging her exposed skin. The king didn't appear to be doing any better. His suit gathered dark spots of sweat. Ambassador Feria. Selene pressed her hands to her hips. The heat smeared her makeup, but the woman didn't falter. You've had your fun, but now I ask that you leave. We don't want there to be a need for dragon hunting to be reinstated, do we? I doubt there's a mortal left that knows how to hunt. I wouldn't risk it. Without the elves, how many dragons still breed? The fire lit up, the heat cooling to the temperature of chimney smoke. I'm sorry to offend you, Selene sighed, but this is a personal matter that doesn't concern you or your kind. Feria shook her head in disbelief. This isn't some joke. You think that I'd allow some sage to warp my mind? Italo is everyone's personal matter. He will return. Selene faltered. If that is the case, my position remains. If you let that woman touch the books of Avo, you will be spelling out certain doom. We will find her heir for you, and if we can, we will make sure it's someone we can trust. But you must not, under any circumstances, let Alexandria touch those books. Fine. The fire turned to ash in the hall. If we must do it this way, we will. It was a pleasure speaking to you, King Astler. She stepped off the throne. As she passed, she latched onto Juliet's arm, dragging her back towards the courtyard.
Oh, we still
The
have one
afternoon
scene.
sun dappled through the twin trees. Feria sat on a courtyard bench, glaring the royal guards away from her, legs jutting forward. Juliet crossed her arms, the
Angie
heat of fire
Dragon.
still warm on her shoulders, the sun beating down on her back. She stomped forward, her tense brow worsening her headache. What was that? She scolded the dragon. Do we really have time for tantrums like this? Feria let her head fall back on the bench. The relationship between humans and dragons is complex. There was a conversational subtext that you didn't understand. Subtext? Juliet scowled. Do you need a history lesson? Feria lifted her head to roll her eyes. You may have noticed how simply dressed King Astler was, while our friend Selene wore jewels. Large jewels. Those are deliberate provocations. Maybe she wanted to look good for the ambassador. Speaking of which, ambassador, really? She shrugged. It's up in the air back home. So you're not a real ambassador? Feria extended her hand, waving it in a
More
so-so
audiobooks?
gesture.
Yeah, it's audiobook
The
time.
fire goddess and I are at odds, but we're dragons. It's a miracle there is any semblance of order amongst us. Fine, but back to the jewelry. Our friend Selene hails from the kingdom at the foot of the dragon dens. She knew exactly what her jewels said. Juliet took the spot next to Feria. Leave it to dragons to have more ridiculous customs. The metal bench was cold against her bare skin. After the heat of the hall, she welcomed it.
Yeah, she got
Leaning
2
her weight
frames. She
on her
can yap.
palms, she rested her eyes. Feria followed with a weary breath of her own. Gems like those take their root in the hunt. Whether or not they were real dragon scale or fake, they deliberately invoke a time of death and broken eggs. Oh, Juliet clenched her seat. Beside her, Feria looked as tired as she felt. Why would she provoke? Not certain. Seems like a personal gripe. Bad timing. But we can't let the princess die. Juliet tried and failed to stifle a loud yawn. Why not talk to the king alone?
Beat Juliet.
I suppose that could work. It's worth a shot. Juliet wiped her eyes. Though, after what you just pulled, I doubt it'll be easy. You terrified the poor man. It was an appropriate response. It doesn't matter. You'll have to play nice. King Asler didn't wear anything fancy, so unless dragon culture has something against Twill, you ought to give him a nice, polite, civil chat. The dragon groaned, as if pained by the suggestion. Stretching her arms across the back of the bench, her fingers unintentionally brushed Juliet's shoulders. The scales of her arms rested against her skin. Juliet found herself leaning into the dragon's arm. She shielded her eyes from the light, circling her temples with her thumbs. The pulse of her headache continued to throb.
Booba.
It didn't matter how much she tried to soothe it. Instead, it only tired her fingers. Her body was spent. She imagined a long, warm bath, followed by a fresh nightgown. It was nearly real, her imagined bed, swirling up in the newly laundered sheets. Deadwood really has done a number on you. Feria broke her concentration. No, you both have. Juliet opened one eye to glare back.
Oh, hi, Midnight.
I'm tired, I'm sick, and I'm naked. That's 2/3 your fault.
Could you teach me how to draw hip?
The bench creaked. The
I don't
dragon
know.
readjusted once more. You're tired? How long do you humans need to sleep?
We're reading some not midnight. We're reading some audiobooks right now. I'm shading in a hip. Cannot allow you to say booba. I should be using Blue Sky more. The app is just saying they give me notifications. I've been starting to use Blue Sky more. It's fun. I like it. As far as social media goes, it's alright. Audiobook time, yeah. We got Ushi. We got our little audiobook Ushi here to read to us.
You don't know? Aren't I like your millionth human? She huffed. I'm not a revolving door. It's been a few years. Fine. 8 hours, minimum. 8! She gasped before stumbling into a smile. That's a joke, isn't it? No. Feria stiffened, smile disappearing. I must have banished it from my memory. Do dragons not need to sleep? Of course not. Though that isn't to say it isn't a fun hobby. A really fun hobby, in fact. Nestling up in a pile of gold, the feeling of treasure on your scales is pure euphoria.
Cute pet cam?
Juliet
Yeah, we
blushed
got
at the
pet
image
cam.
concocted in her mind's eye. Anyways, I, as a human, need sleep. If I don't get enough, I'll get sick and incoherent. If we put it off too much, I'll die. Feria looked shocked. You mortals are so brittle. What a cruel creation. Maybe you should keep that in mind if we get a chance with the king a second time. Fine. Her eyes closed for a moment before standing. I'll allow you to return to the hotel while I speak with the king. I'll be better behaved without provocation. No, I'm going to come with you. I'll survive. Juliet motioned an accusatory finger. But you're going to listen to me. I'm not having you lose it. Oh, the dragon smiled. Am I going to listen to you? Yes, because your plan failed horribly, and I know my way around. Very well, dear maid. Show this ancient how to do her job. I will.
Damn. Juliet, she thinks well of herself, doesn't she? Yeah, we also got a cute pet cam. Yeah, that's Miku. She's got allergies, so she's been itchy. Little itchy creature. Itchy and eepy. Overconfident? She really is. Feria's so rude. This lady, that's a rude lady right here. Juliet just thinks about this, though. Juliet's like... She's so rude, but for some reason, I just have to do what she says. I don't know. Juliet's like, why do I listen to her? Oh, Juliet. Subtitles moment. Oh. Oh. I mean, we're doing well. We made it to chapter 5 last time, so I say we go to chapter 8 at least, right? I want to see what everyone's up to, you know? Will we get more Lul? That's what I hope for. I don't remember what happens next. I only know generally what happens because I did write this. All right, chapter 8, let's go.
Chapter 8. The maid swept Ash from the throne room.
We do get
Selene
Lul.
stood on the stone
No,
steps next to King Asler.
Different maids.
The room was heavy with smoke. Ashes stuck inside her nostrils, only serving to make things worse. The dragon's tantrum clung to her. King Asler sat on his throne, still quiet.
New ping,
I'm going to check on your sister, she said, her arms locked over her chest. As she made her first step, she heard him apologize, a mutter beneath his breath. You don't need to apologize. She turned hard on her heel. Dragons are about as reasonable as Alexandria. He nodded, though his gaze lingered on the hall. His focus was directed to the stained glass images of the shadow spirits. Is Italo really waking? He asked, not getting any louder. I don't know. She clenched her jaw, starting to grind her teeth. But I will sort out your sister's heir once and for all. Selene made solid steps down. She cleared the length of the hall before making straight for the dungeons. In her shadows, she left the quiet king. Leaving the smoke behind, she entered the clear halls. Every hall of the great palace dawned streams of light, through the windows, starlight fixtures, and lanterns. All but the dungeon. The path to the dungeon required a walk through the northern courtyard.
I've been working on making a PNG tuber or a VTuber for myself. That's awesome. They're a lot of fun. I have a VTuber and a PNG tuber. I think this one needs like some fixes because I think I should be bouncing and my table shouldn't be bouncing. And our little our audiobook reader, we need her to do some blinks. I like her mouth movements though, honestly. The on and off is not that bad. It looks cute. All right, back to meeting with Princess Alexandria, Little Miss Murder Princess.
The castle exit led out into gardens where a variety of purple and midnight flowers grew. From the distance, she could see the city skyline.
No, not this song.
Just ahead of civilization were the holding rooms, the structures out of service until the star's next rotation. When it was the season, they would house the exiles. Sometimes they were spacious, practically a final vacation for the prisoners. Other times, the cells were cramped. The exiles pressed tightly against the bars, begging for their sentences. Selene pressed on, navigating the small courtyard to the dungeon's gate. At first glance, the building was nothing grand. It stood in the center of the courtyard, the usual castle guard patrolling its shadows. It couldn't be larger than 10 feet, width, length, and height. She pulled open the barred doors. Inside was nothing but a set of slab stairs leading down into the darkness. Breathing the last of the free air, she descended. She made careful steps as she reached the depths that light couldn't. The dungeons weren't a place for the common folk. They were made for the fallen. They were only meant for the angels and sages to navigate. At the end of the staircase, deep in the earth, Selene passed empty cells. The first sets of holding cells were barely used, not in the Civil Age. Each was gated with the same bars used to secure the fallen. They were carved from starlight, glowing crystal bars made by ancient angels. Selene ran her hands across them. Passing one by one, she reached the final cell. The darkness beyond was a wall. Alex sat at the back of her cell. The bars cast a sickly glow on her pale skin, her dark hair tangled with grime and sweat. Laying still against the wall, a smile took over her face. Company, I'm so honored. You're perky. Selene stood at a distance. Getting used to Asler's magic? She shrugged. Or are you accepting your fate? Another shrug. Why are you here, Selene? because your sentence is approaching, and you need to decide upon your heir." "So, you found out." Alexandria laughed, her throat scratchy and dry. "Why would I bother helping you stop the Shadow God? Nothing matters to the dead." Celine took a step closer. "Do you know about... how?" "A little bird told me." "What bird?" Celine scowled. The princess rarely smiled. She rarely spoke, especially not since her imprisonment. She's planning something. "Maybe the isolation has me making stories." She firmed her hands on the floor. "Maybe some canary flew into this coal mine with a song of the Shadow God."
What's Ushi reading? She's reading the Books of Avo, which is my book, as you are aware. We're on chapter 8 now. Gotta charge my pencil a little bit.
Or maybe I'm good at guessing. Celine tried to keep her face still. She'd learned quickly from watching the king and princess how she worked, how she looked for the holes in emotional armor. "I'd guess it's the isolation," she said as dry as she could. "This is the most I've heard from you since we've met." "What can I say? Birds make great company." Who is she talking about? Celine began to grind her teeth. A bird spirit? "Sorry, am I frustrating you?" "No," Celine firmed her back. "Have you decided your heir yet?" "Maybe I'll ask the bird." "Be serious. You've lost. King Asler will live a long, happy life, and you will never take the throne. There's no point in your roundabouts. It doesn't serve you." "But neither does helping." Alexandria's smile wouldn't cease. "What if I give the power to someone stuck in the mirage? How will you keep the fallen at bay?" "Light magic." "It's not working." She rose from the floor. The woman was small, unassuming. "I hear them at night. The poor monsters. Asler's light doesn't keep them at bay. It causes them pain. If you hurt them long enough, well, why will they fear touching the gates?" "You're lying. You want the order to be undone." Celine glared back. "No, I'm telling the truth, and I don't care if I die."
More of the books you wrote.
"Choose an heir."
Including the Gay Werewolf one.
Alexandria said nothing, stifling a laugh. She really was going stir-crazy. Celine watched her, faltering as she looked into the wall of shadow. "If you choose an heir, I'll visit you, every day until the execution." "I want Assie to visit." "No," Celine pointed at her. "It's me, or I leave you with birds and the fallen." At last, the smile smoothed. She watched the shadow closely. The low moans of distant monsters echoed with the dripping condensation. The Sage of Shadow could hear the sounds of their grief no better than a normal mortal. "Fine," she said, lips curling down. "I'll make a decision. But only after you've held your promise." Celine nodded. "That's reasonable." "Of course it is. Who do you think you're talking to?"
A freak.
It was 5:30, the perfect time for a warm bath, a glass of wine, and a
Yes.
gorgeous woman. Aurora sat on the other side of the tub, her two perfect feet
I love
resting
these
on
two.
Lule's shoulders. Aurora's lipstick had stained every last inch of him, and there were a lot of inches to be stained. It would be a long time before he was free of the stuff. Aurora submerged her dark hair beneath the suds. The sultry scent of ash moss and roast nightshade clung to their skin. Of all the masculine's scented bubble bath, Aurora decided it was the most tolerable. Lule rounded his shoulders, taking one of her small feet in his hands. Bringing her back into the water, he circled his thumb against her arch. In response, she melted, sinking deeper into the tub, eye fluttering shut. He brought his hands beneath, coaxing her chin back to the surface. Her lips were warm, wet,
I need to
but
charge
still
my
waxy with
pencil.
lipstick. Her mouth opened for his, tongue searching the inside.
Oh
Her
my
upper
gosh.
arms wrapped around his thick shoulders, her lower arms searched the depths. He held the small of her back, pressing her breasts to his slick skin.
Oh
A
my
free hand
goodness.
found his. The spirit's fingers were thin, nearly skeletal, like silk-wrapped bones. Or was it... Lule pulled away. "Huh?"
I'm Bones.
Her eye opened. "Sorry, thinking about business," he lied. Aurora tilted her head. Her hair lay in damp spirals, spreading out where they touched the water. I've heard very little from the Shadow God. That's odd. You're his right hand. You think you'd be kept up with more than anyone. Maybe if I obeyed orders better, he shrugged. I'm already employing a little artistry to my latest task. Oh no. Don't be like that. Atalo is well aware of how I play these things. Expecting me not to meddle is like expecting you not to have sex. If you say so, I don't want you to get in trouble. It's fine. I may have allowed a sage to slip free. Atalo may have appreciated me killing him, but it's too early. I plan to take a revolver down to Vera Libra. If I kill them there, I doubt they'll have the chance to unite a second time. I guess that's not a bad plan, but why not tell Atalo instead of pretending to do his plan? Because then he'll be suspicious. Why? Because I never tell him the truth about meddling. Wait, she scrunched her brows. I'm getting a little lost. Don't worry about it. He rubbed her arm. It makes my head ache too sometimes.
Here we go.
Okay, but as long as nothing bad happens.
We've got accompanying
Lul
art.
nodded. The bath water had washed away her makeup. Her eye patch was discarded with the rest of her clothes.
Such a tiny tub.
When Lul stared into the empty space, through the bumpy pink skin, he could feel her pain, feel the claws drag down his face. Lul, Aurora kissed his fingers. I'm serious. We need things to go as he plans. I wouldn't want him to lash out again. And he won't. The traitor is dead. He'll succeed this time. Aurora went quiet. She was too kind for the spirits of the Shadow Council. I was lying, Aurora. When? She raised a foot again, setting it back on his shoulder. Every day of your life? Yes, he smirked. But when I said I was thinking about business earlier, my head was elsewhere.
I can't find where
I
we
know.
are.
He released a sigh, the warm air sticking to her. It's Lenora, he said at last. Sometimes I feel her near me. It's as if she reaches through the veil. Aurora said nothing. Her eye was
Oh,
soft.
there we go.
Sorry, I'm bringing down the mood. He sank into the bath. Forget I brought it up. The bubbles thinned on the water surface. Aurora rested her head against the tub, the swirl of soap collecting in her hair. He followed her gaze to the crystal fixture, the light dancing in her violet iris. If anyone could do that, it would be her, Aurora smiled. But if she could reach through death's veil, of course she'd reach for you. Maybe. She would. She caused a wave in the tub. You can't make me jealous with a love as immortal as the two of yours, and then pretend it was nothing. Jealous? Yes, jealous. I have a lovely time with you, Leah, Carvel, Atalo, anyone who'll have me. But I've yet to feel my soul tangle up with someone else's. It sounds so nice. Since when have you wanted something like that? She blushed in obvious embarrassment. Do you remember my opposite? Lul tried to remember, but there were too many spirits, 11 for each of the 7 councils. 77 people he hadn't seen since the beginning of time in most cases. I don't know what it is, but I always struggle to remember the Light Goddess's council, Lul grimaced. Same, but he was a tall man, incredibly handsome and well-endowed. Oh, I know him, though I thought his name was Lul. Shush you, she giggled. Maria's council, not Atalo's. I know, he smiled, reaching beside the tub for the wine bottle. Go on, I'm ready. It's not a fun story. Lul took a long swig. The bottle was fresh, young, slightly floral, the perfect flavor for ancient troubles. I'm listening. He offered
Why
her
does
the bottle.
this song always come
She
on
pressed
in
it to her
Lul
lips.
scenes?
Forever ago at the council, we once had an exchange where you fell madly in love with him. The wine nearly came out of her nose. Are you kidding? Aurora, he smirked, reaching out for the bottle. Fine, I may have swooned, she grinned, shielding the bottle from his advance. But mostly, we talked. It was nice, talking to the other side. The other side? Yeah, the Light Council. Do you remember your opposite? Lul shrugged. Like I said, I blocked them from my memories. Drank it away. I get it. She tapped his neck with her toes. I mostly remember mine always in opposition to me, but when we spoke that time, there was more to it. Or maybe more to me? Lul tilted his head. I know, right? Before, I'd always remembered him as this goody-goody, a wet blanket. Purity, I'd say, like it were bile. How can lust not be pure? It's honestly the purest thing I can think of. A biological truth. But it's a truth that
Yay.
you wrote
Charge
when
my
we
pen
made the Books of
slightly.
Avo. She nodded. That's exactly what he talked about.
I feel like
When
my
I wrote
battery
my
keeps
books
dying
to
faster.
find lust, it was natural. It just made sense. What's your point? That I hate having to think about it, she groaned. Every time a Tallow tries something, everything gets more confusing, more complex. I made friends with the spirit of purity, my opposite. It gets harder and harder to be fucked to help a Tallow rise to power.
F word.
Then why do you keep answering his call? Because Lenora didn't. She furrowed her brow. No matter how many years pass, no matter how much I change, no matter how many times he fails, a Tallow
She said
expects
the
us
F
to remain
word.
the same. I want to go be someone else. It feels like I've never gotten a chance to live, but I can't make my own choices. Lul, I'm scared of him. Lul found her hands in the water, all her fingers quivering over the wine bottle's neck. The alcohol plumed out into the water. Aurora. He leaned in, a single second from her lips. You don't have to be afraid. He freed the bottle from her hands, giving her a gentle kiss, the kind reserved for friends. But he killed her. Lul nodded, and so is the nature of the spirit of death. She was always meant to die? Can you really just accept that? You loved her. I have to. We can never change who we are, Aurora. He made us. We will always serve a Tallow, and we will always obey. Lenora didn't. And her opposite was a traitor too. Is it worth it to burden your mind with this? He stroked her long, perfect back. I don't know. I think you do. In the end, if by some miracle you turned your back on a Tallow, what good would that do? You don't have it in you to stop him. No one can. I know. She pulled away from him for only a few moments. I'm not saying you can't go find true love, or whatever makes you happy. Nothing in your nature says you can't. I'm sorry if that's how I made it sound. Thanks, she said softly. How about we forget all this? We're doing an awful job at cheering up. Lul pulled her closer. I've yet to show you my bedroom. Oh, I'm a fan of bedrooms.
The boudoir.
Beyond the sterile glow of the star, a blue sky awaited. Clouds rolled lazily over green fields. Beyond the mortal farms was a small house on the hills. It was beyond antiquity, into the realm of ancient history. Deer bounded along in a haphazard stampede, a young pup bounding after them with little skill in herding, little skill in moving her legs in general. In the distance, a man covered his face in embarrassment. But even with face covered, Aaron quickly recognized the bright orange hair. It was Sindrith. Aaron stopped the car on the side of the road. He threw open the door, the sound causing notice. As Aaron got out, Sindrith made quick work down the hill and over the barbed wire fence. Somewhere in the middle, they met with a hug. Aaron, it's been ages. Sindrith grinned as he backed up. Behind him, the tall curly puppy barked. Aaron smirked. Ages? It's only been 3 years. Sindrith scowled, but years didn't really change much. His hair was longer than when he left, but Aaron had seen him in between haircuts before. Beneath the day's grime was a face full of opaque freckles on skin that both glowed and tanned. So, who's the lady? Sindrith tilted his head, looking past him at the car. Tria merely glanced out the open door. Impatient? Bored? It was hard to tell with her. That's Miss Deadwood. She's the lady Viren wanted me to meet. Huh, so she's the elf. His tilting head turned into a lean, a very obvious lean. Yes, and the Earth Sage. Aaron stepped into his view. And you need to keep your distance. She absorbs light. Really? He tried even harder to stare. But you're so much more sensitive to that. I've got feathers, don't worry. What? Sindrith shouted, causing his dog to bark even louder. You're falling? Aaron stumbled backwards. What? No, I mean angel feathers. I got loose ones full of light. Shit, Aaron, he said. You nearly grayed me there.
No, she said the
Sighing, he
shit
turned
word
back
too.
to hush his dog. Okay,
Potty mouth
so you've got a
Gary.
fancy suit, a fancy car, and a fancy dame. What brings you back our way? We're looking for Kara. Kara? Sindrith scrunched his nose. The bear. Oh! He clapped and the dog yelped, its paw landing on the barbed wire. Rennie, we get it. Everyone sees you. Sindrith groaned, wiping a hand across his face. Sorry, Aaron. She's not been around for some time now. You'll probably need to talk to Leo about it. That's the plan. Oh, really? Sindrith returned a smile. Of course, a poor, stupid half-breed like myself wouldn't be any use to you angels. Do you need me to serve you tea? Am I stepping too much in your shadow? Forgive me, my better. I take it you haven't spoken for 3 years? Sindrith laughed. With only Leo to keep him company, it wasn't hard to believe. Even when Aaron lived with them, he'd caught his cousin talking to the deer on a few too many occasions. I'll go let
I'm a
Leo know
deer.
you're here,
Please
he
talk
said,
to me.
making back towards the fence. And maybe I will
love
make
being
tea for
spoken
my
to.
benevolent master. Aaron rolled his eyes, making sure Sindrith safely hopped back over the barbed wire before turning back to the car. Inside, Tria was looking a little more sour than usual. She trailed Sindrith with her eyes, her focus less hazy, brows tense. So that child is your cousin? He's nearly 50. She said nothing, but didn't have to. Her shadowed green eyes said it all. He's a little sheltered, but he works hard. Aaron's gut clenched as he said it, watching his cousin run in the opposite direction of the house, chasing his dog over the hill. Sindrith hadn't put in a full day's work since he arrived on the farm, and yet Aaron always felt the need to defend him, a pang of guilt for the half-breed that would spend the rest of his immortal life with only an ancient angel and farm for company. Tria sighed deeply, catching Aaron's attention. I'm not here to judge your family. It would be hypocritical, to say the least. Let's not waste time, however. With a nod, Aaron climbed back into the car. He urged it to make the short trip to the farmhouse. Just like Sindrith, his childhood home hadn't changed in his absence. The weathered, unassuming building stood at the far end of the rolling pastures. Aaron parked close to the house, right before the coop. The goose coop was larger than the house, a barn fox patrolling lazily. The vixen looked to be a new mother, eagerly waiting on a mink to surface from the pond to bring back to her kits. The obedient fox would be rewarded tenfold with the gristle and bones his uncle would have no use for. With a slight spring in his step, Aaron passed the duck pond, the old well, and stopped at the door. Tria followed behind slowly, taking in each rock and twig. The ducks seemed to stare at her, losing track of their ducklings in the process. Everything all right, Tria? Aaron asked as she ambled. She nodded, not bothering to look at him. Aaron opened the door, hoping to inspire her to move forward. She was unfazed, turned in the wrong direction, in a staring contest with a goose. He wasn't sure if she was enviable, whether she was losing track of reality or engrossed by her element. It was undeniable that she was connected to the Earth Spirit's creations more than Aaron was with the wind. But he didn't have time to dwell. From inside the cottage, he heard Leo call his name. The old man rose from his chair, old being relative in the exile's case. His skin was grayer than Aaron's. His long and white hair was pulled behind him. His face was clear, ageless, unweathered, unlike Sindrith. He met Aaron in the doorway, with another long hug.
Family.
While Faria went off to cause trouble, Juliet went in search of the
I think
king.
this is our last
She'd
scene.
heard some tales of his meekness before, but she still found herself surprised. She'd always assumed that people meant he was meek for his role. Either way, she felt bad for him. Her dragon friend had acted in the most dragon way possible. But Juliet would show her. Even in such inappropriate attire, Juliet knew a thing or two about nobility. Okay, maybe not nobility exactly, but it wouldn't have been unheard of for royalty to attend one of her father's parties. In fact, Juliet was certain that she had, on more than one occasion, turned down the hand of a duke. Juliet kept her attention as she searched the courtyard. She knew it was little hope to simply stumble upon His Royal Highness, but that didn't mean she should give up. After all, there was a lot at stake. If only someone hadn't scared him off, Juliet grumbled to herself. But as she turned into the eastmost courtyard, her mood
Yeah,
lightened. There he was,
it's true.
shadowed by his guards, but otherwise alone. He looked to be mulling over
Sculpting
an
a booty
old
at the
book,
moment.
though his expression looked off. His mind had drifted elsewhere. "Excuse me," Juliet approached with a bow. "My apologies if I'm interrupting." He looked up quickly. While still distant, he was present. "Oh, hello, it's fine. You're the ambassador's servant, right?" Juliet grimaced. "Yes, I'm here to apologize on her behalf. She got out of hand with her theatrics." "Oh?" He glanced back at his guards. "I have heard that dragons enjoy putting on a show." "Have you not dealt with them before?" His shoulders sank, head shifting into drawn-out nods. "I've never had dealings with the dragons before. Celin's better equipped." "I think the less equipped the better. I've known Miss Feria for a day now, and she's hardly a bother. She gets in a tizzy about customs, but I think she's scared. But who wouldn't be with—" Juliet gagged. "Are you all right, miss?" Juliet nodded, holding tightly onto her stomach. The roots dug deeper, the vines swirling through her throat, nose, and ears. Miss Deadwood must not want me talking about him. "Is that some sort of curse?" Juliet nodded. "It swears me to secrecy, I think, so it's best I don't speak of it." "It looks bad." He inspected the plants with a worried look. "Maybe I could try healing it." "What? Is that something you can do?" He sighed, as soft and kind as the rest of his voice. "I'm not sure. I'm no master of this power." The king raised his hands, nearly touching Juliet. Light radiated from his fingers. She felt it permeate her, warm, not like fire. It felt like a hug or a smile. However, it didn't clear the scratching inside her or the swollen pulses beneath her skin. His hands dimmed, and he lowered them to his side.
Perry is such a girl boss, barely acknowledged her return. She is. She's girl bossing too close to the sun, though, you know? Like, so you have to get really close to the sun as a dragon, right? Heat probably doesn't bug you that much.
He looked miserable, like living under his own personal cloud. "What useless," she barely heard him say. "It's all right," she smiled, waving it away. "I have plans for it. I'll be fine." He nodded very slightly. "I'm very thankful for your efforts, my king." She gave another bow. As she raised her head, she could see him mutter, still silently berating himself. "Besides, I need to talk about the topic. You know the one?" "I do, but I have to agree with Celin. My sister is too dangerous to release." "Are you sure? Because Feria could probably scare her into shape. That or I know someone who could curse her." King Asler hung his head, swaying it from side to side as he looked to the floor. "It's my duty to keep my sister in line, but she's too powerful for me. We need a more reasonable Sage of Shadow. That, or a more powerful Sage of Light." Juliet furrowed her brow. "You mean someone who could heal my curse? That sort of power?" "No," he sighed. "I don't know if it's possible to heal your curse with my magic. By powerful, I mean it in a really mortal sense. Being able to outwit her, be more confident, more emotional endurance. I'm suppressing her powers now, but it's a struggle. If we brought her like this to a revision, she'd surely cause more chaos." Juliet thought about it carefully. "Maybe you could speak to Feria about this? As dramatic as she can be, I think she knows what she's doing. Please, give her another chance. And besides, do you really think she'd hurt you? She needs you on her side." "That's true." He was silent for a few moments, glancing back at his guards. "Maybe we could chat." "That sounds lovely," Feria interrupted.
Oh, no. Oh, failure. It's not gonna go well. If I know Feria and remember what I wrote. Oh, whoa, whoa. Thank you for listening with me. I appreciate it. It's hard to write a book. Hard to write a book, hard to read books. Hope you're all doing well still. All who are still here. I think we're done with our bedtime story though for now. I'll get back to it next time I do a stream, because I am having fun. It's always fun to reread Avo. I've been working on book 2, so it's always good to refresh myself what happened in book 1, so that it all still remains continuity. Back on my main. Hi. I put so much effort into figuring out all this music stuff, and then I just used my like stuff that doesn't get copyright claimed anyways. Oh well, I'll figure it out. I do want to figure out how to have the name of the song be on the screen. Need to get more points. Yeah, you gotta farm points. And then I need like a song suggestion as a reward. Made a lot of progress. I definitely it's so hard to chat and do art. I know art streamers tend to be a little more quiet just in general, but I can't do it. I'm too YouTube pilled. Silence is death, you know, on YouTube. There's not a lot of space for dead air, but like Twitch stream, it's just you just quietly work and that's okay. It's part of the appeal. It's very parasocial. We did a lot of progress though, because we did a bunch of work on 9 point as well. Hard to draw books. Yeah, drawing books is even harder. Well, I don't know if it's even harder. Writing books is hella. It is hell. Heck. All right. Let us be off. I will send you guys to Lido, I guess. All right. You behave or not. I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. Just be good. All right. Just because you want to be good. Be good because you want to, not because I ask you to. All right. Good night. Oh, I need to end my stream.